Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. We are back on track and ready to attack. I came here to bust grifters and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Before we begin on the show, I just want to mention some technical notes. I don't know what's going on with Facebook and live streams, but every day it takes me almost a half hour to get the Facebook feeds to accept our live stream. Or at least 20 minutes. I mean, I don't know what's going on between the software we use, but I've heard from other creators. And given that Mark Zuckerberg has fucked me out of every dime, we've uploaded hundreds, maybe thousands of live streams or streamed hundreds or thousands of live streams to Facebook. I'm still not monetized on Facebook, but if you want to sell garbage and fantasy alien stories, you could be monetized out the wazoo on Facebook. So I think we're just going to not transmit the show to Facebook anymore. It's no loss to me that we're doing that as a public service for the people who prefer to watch on Facebook. It would be more advantageous to me to only stream on platforms that actually reward us for streaming there by letting us be ad supported. Mark is a reptilian. So I apologize if you're used to watching on the Facebook feed. I think there's one feed up on my personal Facebook, but the Truth Seekers Facebook would not accept the stream, literally no matter what I did. Also, just want to note that we got a reply from yesterday's shows from one JP who said, I'm going to read this. I want to respectfully share my perspective. The experiences I speak about are real to me. They are not based on assumptions. They are things I personally lived through. I'm not the only one with these experiences. There are many other soldiers who have gone through similar experiences. Dismissing or trying to prove my experiences wrong does not change what happened. If you're generally interested in understanding my background, I have my DD Form 214 documenting my military service. If you ask, I will gladly provide it. I have nothing to hide. I'm willing to share the documentation that supports my service and experience. He doesn't have any documentation that supports his crazy alien stories, but he might have some military records. Okay, great. You were in the Army for a few years. He goes on to say, I believe that the truth eventually comes to light through openness, honesty, and disclosure. In time, the facts will speak for themselves. Yeah, kick the can. Eventually, everybody will know I'm telling the truth about the aliens. Again, he goes on to say, I also believe that negativity and low-frequency behavior never truly prevails over integrity and truth. Well, JP, I'm not the one that's making a living selling fake alien stories that are evidence-free bullshit. You are. Isn't it low energy to scam people with fake stories or evidence-free stories? I'm low energy because I say he doesn't have any evidence. This is what these people do. Oh, love and light while we're scamming everybody with completely fake stories. Then he goes on to say that I was smoking cannabis while conducting your show. No, I wasn't. I mean, I just don't understand. But he says that was not professional and did not reflect the standard of conduct I would expect from someone in that position. Okay. He says, my intention is not to attack anyone personally, but to encourage an honest and respectful conversation based on facts, accountability, and mutual respect. Now, on the cannabis comment, I guess he's confusing. I smoke Bugler cigarettes. You get rolling papers and a big can of tobacco because the price of cigarettes are so crazy. But yesterday, I was smoking regular cigarettes, and I have just begun smoking regular cigarettes because apparently people think that I'm just power smoking cannabis joints through the whole show because I do smoke a lot during the show. So just to correct everybody, I have never, ever have I indulged in cannabis during a live stream. I don't generally even like to drink an alcoholic beverage on the live stream because, people, people turn that against me, start calling government agencies, telling people I'm an alcoholic. So I generally even don't even indulge in any alcohol or cannabis during the live stream. So just let's put that on the record. So I'm not oh, you're unprofessional, you're smoking. No, cigarettes are completely and totally legal. Tobacco is totally legal, terrible for you, but interesting that his mind went straight to cannabis. Yeah. I don't understand. So I replied to him and said, no, I'm not smoking cannabis during the live streams. These are roll your own cigarettes, bugler, whatever. And I did request that he email me his DD-214, and then at least going forward for a future coverage of him, because he's going to be a big guy, a TV star being interviewed by dirtballs like Jimmy Church. He's going to be the next Corey Good on Gaia TV. So, and he's appearing at all these alien conferences now, of course. He's basically the new Corey Good. So we're probably going to continue covering him. At least we'll be accurate when we talk about his claimed military service, which we have, a very excellent veteran, Marine veteran friend of the show who's excellent at military records. He'll help us to know exactly what this JP's military service was like. And if he, was truly in the special forces, as he and I guess the people promoting him claim. And on the low frequency thing, like, okay, questioning people that have no evidence but make their full-time living selling bullshit is negative energy. Well, I get, okay, if you say, okay, I'm negative for asking questions, you're the guy running around telling people alien fantasy stories for money, dude, not me. And you're doing so publicly, which means you have to be open to criticism and debate. And apparently, like all the grifters, this guy isn't. We'll take a moment to welcome in live chat, whether you're chatting on Kick, not on Facebook tonight, or maybe on Facebook because we have one feed up, Twitch, our Twitter feed, or our home base here on YouTube, or Kick, our favorite new place. Go to kick.com/Truth Seeker Show. Follow me. Do it during the live broadcast, and we give you a big shout out and a big thank you. I'll be checking in with the Kick Live chat. We've set a goal. I get it's the summer slump. We have not hit a goal in quite a long time. So tonight, I will count everything towards the goal. Now, the goal counter on YouTube only counts YouTube super chats of 5 or more. It doesn't count gifted memberships or if somebody joins. It doesn't count the Kick chat. It doesn't count PayPal or buy me a coffee. I will pull a dark side Phil tonight and I will add everything up. And if we hit the goal, we'll do our first wackadoo of the week. And boy, do I have a doozy of a wackadoo for you tonight, my friends. But on to the subject of tonight's show. I try not to get bitter or angry, or especially people sometimes claim that I'm jealous of other content creators. But I want to make sure that we are clear. I am never jealous of somebody who is genuinely talented and worked hard and has a bigger platform, more subscribers, more views than me. Never. And I'm also never jealous or angry about somebody who lied and cheated their way to a huge platform. This Area 52 is a complete and total hoax peddling, garbage peddling scumbag. And let's be clear, you can hear him speak and know that he's intelligent enough to do actual research. I'll give him that. He could do the research, but let's be clear. The UFO and the alien scam and the people promoting and profiting from it, it only works because they pretend they're so fucking stupid. That's what this guy, Chris Ramsey from Area 52 does. He pretends he's so stupid that he can't do a 5-minute Google search before platforming a completely and totally fake story. He can't do 5 minutes of research before platforming a known hoaxer. He's platforming Billy Meyer crap recently. Mikey Horn, remember that guy? The guy that was using a PDF file? The aliens gave Billy Meyer a laser gun. Okay, Michael Horn, what's your proof of that? Well, this PDF file, convicted child diddler, Wendell Stevens, he saw the laser gun, so the story is true. Well, I'm sorry, I don't trust PDF files to be good and credible witnesses to anything. It's so stupid and it's so ridiculous. The Billy Meyer case has been a known hoax for decades. But this Area 52 guy, oh yeah, let's pretend it's real, right? Let's let Mikey Horn come on here and give his fake talking points using child predators as proof of his alien laser gun claims. It's so stupid. And I have more, actually, more examples. The reason this Area 52 hoax promoter has blown up so big is because he is completely and totally uncritical. And he only gives you half of the story. He is not giving you any of the stories, right? And somebody's just called me the new king of retards in my email. Oh, whatever. There's nothing worse to me than a disgruntled former fan of mine. Do you know what happens? People are like, yeah, that Corey Good, he's such a scammer. Yeah, that David Wilcock, he's such a scammer. I'm a big fan, Steven. But as soon as I go after somebody they like and show them that somebody that they like is a scammer, they turn on me like you wouldn't believe. So some of the hoaxes and hoaxers that this Area 52 has promoted, and let's be clear, profited from, he's doing this for money. Huge channel. What has he got? 600,000 subscribers. And by the way, he did that in 3 years. The only way you go from 0 to 600,000 subscribers in 3 years is by doing shady shit, in my opinion. You don't get that big by being credible, by doing good research, by giving people the whole story. This is how this Area 52 clown operates. He will platform somebody, but then leave out all the parts of the story that prove that person is a complete and total horseshit peddling bullshit huckster. That's what he does. The Bob Lazar, that's a hoax. Travis Walton, we know from our coverage here, Travis Walton and Mike Rogers just hoaxed the whole thing to make money. He platforms people like Lou Elizondo, but he forgets to tell you that Lou Elizondo completely and totally lied about running a Pentagon UFO program. He never did. He's a complete and total fraud. His whole story begins with a lie. He platforms Nick Pope. I guess you forgot to tell everybody that Nick Pope lied about running a British UFO program and the British government paying him to investigate crop circles and alien abductions. The British government is on record. They put out letters saying, we don't investigate crop circles. We don't investigate alien abduction cases. So Nick Pope is lying about that. He doesn't give you that. He's platforming people about the Skinny Bob alien video hoax. There is literally an overlay from a stock website of grainy film texture on the Skinny Bob video. It is a complete and total hoax. But I guess he forgot to put that in his video. Of course he forgot to put that in his video because it proves that the Skinny Bob thing is a complete and total hoax. There's the Billy Meyer hoax. Oh, and then he platforms Chris Bledsoe, but he forgets to tell you that Bledsoe keeps getting caught posting videos of satellites and, birds and drones and shit that's not UFOs. He's been caught countless times lying about things and pretending that something is an orb when it is, for example, a Starlink satellite. People have proven that Chris Bledsoe misidentifies satellites as alien spaceship orbs constantly. Did this Area 52 give you that information? No. And here's the thing. He cannot be critical of any of these people. He cannot ask real questions to any of these people. It's the UFO circle jerk. The minute anyone asks one of these people a hard or a critical question, they get ostracized from the UFO cult. We've seen it happen with Lou Jimenez and other people. Lou Jimenez ran, what was it? He ran one of the most successful UFO shows for years by platforming all of these grifters and not being very critical. The minute he became the least little bit critical, and this pertained to Lou Elizondo, he got ostracized and lost all access to all the grifters. They would no longer come on his show because how dare he turn on Lou Elizondo and all this shit. So this Chris Ramsey is in the same position. He can't be the least little bit critical. So basically, Chris Ramsey, Area 52, congratulations. Your whole life is peddling liars and lies, and you can't tell people the truth. You never can, because the minute you do, you will lose your whole channel. Your whole income stream will go away. So you have now trapped yourself in a hell of your own making where you have to lie, at least lie by omission, to everybody that watches any of your shitty videos. Every time you make a video, you have to lie to people. Congratulations, you dumb dickhead. This is a hell of your own making that you deserve. Now you have to lie to people every day of your life for the whole history of your channel. I hope the money is worth it. Apparently he's making tens of thousands of dollars. So maybe that's all he cares about. And if money is all you care about, then money is what you will have. But there are karmic consequences for lying to people. Lying to people every day of your life is incredibly corrosive to your soul, Mr. Ramsey. That's why so many of these grifters end up being complete and total huge alcoholics and drug addicts, and so many of them die of unaliving events or drug overdoses. I can think of many, many examples. Mark McCandlish, Phil Schneider, those two were unaliving events. Amy Eskridge, those are another unaliving event. David Wilcock, another unaliving event. Then there's all the people that die of alcoholism and drug abuse. Lying to people every day is corrosive to your soul. But I wish every man a road to redemption. Now, do I think he's suddenly going to start giving people the whole truth? No, never. He can't, because his channel only works by selling people stupid fantasies that are easily proven fake, and by leaving out all the information that proves they're fake. So recently, this clown, and let's be clear, he paid. I'm sure. I don't have proof, but I'm sure that he paid Bob Lazar and Travis Walton to do this video together. Why else would they fly out to wherever this guy lives and do this thing for him? Just to help him out with his struggling YouTube channel? No, he paid them to do this, in my opinion. And until I see proof otherwise, I'm going to keep saying he paid them. So he puts two of the biggest alien scammer, grifter, hoaxers together to have a conversation. And this is big news, right? This is big news in the UFO community. Oh, Bob Lazar finally met the other grifter, Travis Walton. Great. Okay. So I have some things to put on the record. Oh, but before we do, before we get to that, I have some things about, remember yesterday, if you weren't here, one of the problems we had yesterday is one of the grifters that Michael Sala interviewed, who is saying that Amy Eskridge is still alive, try to derail our show. He came in a live chat demanding that I do this or do that, or, and his big problem with me is that I didn't get police reports and I didn't get proof that she's in fact deceased, even though her parents say she's deceased. The local police say she's deceased. The local coroner says she's deceased and died of an unaliving event, self-inflicted, So apparently all of these assholes that are pushing this Amy Eskridge is still alive conspiracy, their proof that she's still alive is that the local government will not release the police reports related to her being discovered unaliving herself, or the coroner's report. But there's a very good reason for that, and that's standard privacy and investigative protocols. Now, I tried to get these things, and I couldn't, because in Alabama and across much of the United States, detailed death investigation records in non-criminal cases, especially unaliving events, are not made public. And this is a long-standing policy or law in Alabama. Coroners and medical examiners operate under privacy protections designed to shield the deceased's personal information, medical history, and family from unnecessary public exposure. Releasing graphic details from an unaliving scene or sensitive mental health context can cause additional harm to grieving families and may violate state laws governing vital records. So there's something called the Family Privacy and Lack of Public Interest Mandate. And this means that the police report from Amy Eskridge's unaliving event and the coroner's report will never be released publicly. I mean, I suppose somebody can file FOIA requests or right to know requests or sue to get the information released, but then a judge will have to determine if it's in the public's best interest. In my state, they'll release anything. I live in Pennsylvania, at least I believe so. And in many states, they'll release anything. They'll release the coroner's report publicly. They'll release police reports related to unaliving events. But in some states, they simply won't. So this dumb dickhead that's going around saying Amy Estridge is still alive and I met her, and you can't prove that she's not alive, Stephen, because you don't have the reports. Nobody has the reports except for the proper authorities. So no, I won't be getting a coroner's report, and I won't be getting a police report, but I have spoken to the coroner and I have spoken to the police, and maybe we'll do an update on that. Now, let us dive in. Oh, I want to take a moment to thank some kind and generous benefactors. We have Just Call Me Rope, just sent a full send on Kick, 100 kicks. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Your Mom's Ooze just followed the channel. Thank you for that. Gun Mr. Gray followed the channel, and Kill All Globe Cucks just followed the channel, and Not Henry TV resubscribed, and he has been a subscriber for 5 months. Thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support, especially Just Call Me Rope, who just sent a full send. That's 100 kicks, and we'll take it. One moment here. Let me find our cash clown to give you a proper thank you.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
Thank you, Just Call Me Rope. Big shout out. That's the most kick support we've gotten in a week. Oh no. Okay, so I'll take a moment to catch up with the live chat. We want to thank Collie Armstrong for a $3 super sticker. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and big support of the show. Long-time show supporter Collie Armstrong.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
Right, and we thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Now I have some things to put on record, because unlike Chris Ramsey, who's a garbage peddling scumbag that sells people fantasies and basically lies for a living. I mean, what's that like, Mr. Ramsey? You wake up every day and you go, I got to figure out how to lie to people to keep this shit going, right? I mean, I just don't understand, why would somebody really want to do that? Like spend their life lying to people? And let's be clear, a lie by omission is still a lie. You're purposefully leaving out half the story so that people just believe it and click on your shitty videos. And I, for one, am getting tired of people like this Area 52, right? I mean, sometimes the world just isn't fair. Is it fair that we've been here for years and years and years and we've never sold people fake stories? And I make, 1% of what the grifters make for just lie to people. It's easy. Why am I here telling people the truth, right? The world is just not a fair place. Nobody said that life is fair, I guess. But let's talk about the things that Chris Ramsey, this Area 52 garbage peddling, hoax promoting scumbag, let's talk about the things that this guy leaves out. So for the benefit of the retarded people that watch his videos and don't, know that he's lying to you, I'm here to tell you he's lying to you, at least lying by omission. Why would he make a video with Bob Lazar and not tell you that Bob Lazar is a convicted pimp fake scientist who was bankrupt shortly before he claimed that he worked at the most top secret base on earth, whose wife was a convicted murderer, who is now a convicted felon, who ran a whorehouse? He's a convicted pimp. I'm sorry, I don't think somebody convicted of running a whorehouse is a very credible witness, right? If all he has is a story and no proof. So the legend of Bob Lazar began in 1989 when a so-called former government scientist came out with shocking claims of working on alien spacecraft at Area 51. The legend, however, is built on a complete and total foundation of lies, fabrications, financial desperation, criminal associations, and contradictions that are so glaring that only the willfully credulous still buy it. Bob Lazar is not a whistleblower, and he's not a real scientist. He is a failed photo processor, bankrupt convicted felon, and serial fabricator who spun a tale of cosmic secrets after his life had collapsed into bankruptcy and scandal. His credentials, his claimed education are all fabricated and non-existent. His career claims are all fake. Lazar claimed a master's degree in physics from MIT and electronics from Caltech, plus work as a senior staff level physicist at Los Alamos National Laboratory. None of it holds up. MIT and Caltech have no records of him. He's not in any of the yearbooks. So don't bring that the government erased his records bullshit excuse. That's fake. There's no way that that could have happened. He's not in any of the yearbooks. So unless the men in black, broke into thousands of students' houses to their dusty attics or garages, stole all the yearbooks, sanitized Bob Lazar from everybody's yearbook, recreated the yearbooks, and then broke into everybody's house again and put the yearbooks back, that excuse does not hold up. His high school transcript, he went to Tresper Clark High School, graduated late in August of 1976 in the bottom third of his class. Shows he took only one science course, chemistry. Ufologist Stanton Friedman, who actually investigated, noted that someone with Lazar's academic record had zero chance of admission to either MIT or Caltech. When pressed for professors, Lazar named Duxler, a man who taught at Pierce Junior College, where Lazar did take classes, not Caltech. At Los Alamos, Lazar was listed in the 1982 phone directory as an employee of the contractor Kirk Meyer, not the lab itself. And Kirk Meyer only hired low-level support personnel. They did not hire physicists, let alone senior staff-level physicists. And no, you can't get hired as a technician and get a promotion to senior staff-level physicist. So his entire claimed work history of working at that prestigious lab is completely and totally fake or extremely embellished. So Bob Lazar was described by colleagues that actually worked at the lab, people tracked him down, as a low-level technician, not a physicist. He did work on a jet-powered car and ran a photo processing shop. The lab itself retains no records of him as a scientist. A 1990 Nevada pre-sentence report after one of his convictions bluntly concluded that Lazar had, quote, totally fictionalized his prior academic and employment history. Bankrupt and broke right before his top secret job. In 1986, Lazar filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in Las Vegas. In the filing, which he made under penalty of perjury, he listed his occupation as, quote, self-employed film processor for the previous 6 years. He disclosed massive debts from failed businesses, loans for a jet car, and other financial disasters in his life. There was zero mention of him going to MIT or Caltech. And famously, also, upon the unaliving event of his wife, he told the police that responded to that event that his occupation was a race car driver. So there's zero mention in the bankruptcy file of any physics work, Los Alamos, or any government employment. His alleged S4 employment supposedly began in December 1988. How does a man in open financial ruin who just declared bankruptcy with no advanced degrees and a documented history as a photo processor and electronics technician suddenly receive the kind of security clearance required for work on alien technology recovered by the US government? He doesn't. The timeline alone is fatal to his story. The convicted murderer wife and web of criminality is also a major concern. Lazar's first wife, Carol Nadine Strong, was roughly 13 to 15 years older than him. In 1974, she was convicted of second-degree murder. Court records and investigations show she and accomplices linked to Hell's Angels invaded a home. She held one victim at gunpoint while others stabbed and shot a man to death. She served prison time. Lazar married her in 1980. They ran a photo processing shop, and they had major financial trouble. On April 19, 1986, while still legally married to Carol, Lazar bigamously married another woman, Tracy Ann Merck. 2 days later, Carol was found dead in the garage of their Las Vegas home from carbon monoxide poisoning, and it was ruled a suicide. Lazar filed for bankruptcy weeks later. Lazar himself was convicted in 1990 of felony pandering after his involvement in a Nevada whorehouse prostitution ring. He received probation, community service, and was ordered to go to therapy, I guess because he liked hookers too much. I don't know. His later business, United Nuclear, pleaded guilty to federal charges for illegally shipping hazardous chemicals across state lines. This is the personal and criminal backdrop to the man who claims he was trusted with the biggest secret in human history. And then, most damning for Bob Lazar is the security guard who checked the logs and found nothing. The most damning eyewitness rebuttal of Bob Lazar's fake story comes from Fred Dunham, a verified former Area 51 security guard who worked there from the early 1980s into the early 1990s. When Lazar's story broke, Fred Dunham and colleagues checked the records. They pulled the entry authorization lists, the logs the legitimate employee flying in on the Janet airline flights would have to appear on. And there was no record of Bob Lazar, ever. No one at the base knew him. Dunham also personally checked out Papoose Lake, where Bob Lazar said this alien flying saucer base was. There was no secret facility. There was no roads. There was no guard shack like Bob Lazar described. There was no mountain with 9 camouflage hangars built into the mountainside. And believe me, Fred Dunham got right up into that mountainside where S4 was supposed to be. Nothing but sand and rocks there. Nothing like what Lazar described existed there. It's important to note that there is an S4, but it's a radar facility at the Tonopah Test Range. It's not at Papoose Lake, where Bob Lazar claimed. Dunham further noted that the Papoose Lake area was heavily irradiated from decades of nuclear testing, hardly an ideal spot for a sensitive reverse engineering program where personnel would be walking around the dry lake bed or testing alien flying saucers. Then there is his changing stories. Lazar's tale has shifted over the decades. The size of the alien flying saucer he claimed to work on grew from roughly 30 to 35 feet when he first came out to his story to about 50 feet now. He produced a W-2 form showing a minuscule $977 payment and a badge he later admitted was a reproduction. The employer ID number on the W-2 reportedly does not exist, according to IRS inquiries. EG&G, the contractor he named, has no records of him. He has never produced a single piece of physical evidence, a single named colleague who would corroborate the alien craft stories, or any document that survived the supposed government memory hole. Then there's his Element 115 scam, because Element 115 was later synthesized, but the real version is wildly unstable with a half-life of milliseconds. Nothing like the stable alien flying saucer fuel that Lazar described for powering gravity amplifiers. Skeptics from Stanton Friedman to physicist Donald Prothero have dismantled his scientific claims for decades. Even George Knapp, who broke the story, has acknowledged serious problems with Lazar's educational claims. So the bottom line is that Bob Lazar was a failed businessman in his late 20s whose life was in free fall. He was bankrupt, entangled in shady businesses, in heavy debt, with a bigamous marriage to a woman whose first wife had a murder conviction and working menial jobs. But somehow we're supposed to believe that in 1989, he suddenly possessed intimate knowledge of one of the most tantalizing mysteries in America and the precise schedule of alleged alien spaceship test flights that he and his friends could go to from Tikopoo Valley. The simplest explanation is also the most consistent with every verifiable fact. He made it up. He spun a spectacular lie that fed off the real secrecy surrounding Area 51. He cashed in on the attention and has been dining out on it ever since. While actual records, insiders like Fred Dunham and basic logic expose the Bob Lazar fraud. Area 51 was and is real. It's a highly classified flight test facility for advanced aircraft. That much is true. The alien reverse engineering program at a non-existent S4 at Papoose Lake, pure fiction from a man whose entire biography, outside of that one tall tale, is a catalog of failure, debt, bankruptcy, criminality, and deception. The emperor has no clothes, and the Area 51 logs prove that he was never even in the building, friends. All right, let's check in with the live chat before we continue. I have some things to put on the record. So these are all the things that Area 52 won't tell you. And I think it's incredibly dishonest to make a video about somebody promoting them as telling the truth and not give all of this other information. It conclusively proves that the Bob Lazar story is a complete and total fabricated hoax. But that's what this guy does. He promotes hoaxes, right? He is a hoax promoter. All right, and let's oh, I'm sorry, one moment here. I lost my place. Oh, let's move on to Travis Walton, because this grifter team up is something else. Why would you have these grifters team up, right? Let me take some comments and questions before we continue. It's a little dry, just me reading, our talking points and script here. Bro, they shadow banned you. I had to dig deep to find you. Well, this is a good time for me to remind everybody, smash that subscribe button. Help us fight this summer slump. And if you guys are subscribed to fantasy channels that lie to you every time they post a video, why not subscribe to somebody that goes out of their way to give you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and does real research into each of these characters and topics and gives you the whole story? Don't you want to know if the person is a bullshitter before you even waste your time listening to them? I know. I wish when I got into UFOs and aliens, there was a channel like Truth Seekers. That's why I created it. So be sure, smash that subscribe button. It's a huge boost to the channel. Heard? What? I don't know what that's about. Men ruin everything. What? What are they talking about in the live chat? He's a friend of Jesse Michaels. Of course he is. The grifters all hang out together. You know, they trade grifters to make money off of. Jesse Michaels is a big scumbag, and so is this Area 52, right? And by the way, I challenge you, Area 52, come on my show or bring me on your show, and we'll debate Bob Lazar, and we'll debate Travis Walton, and we'll talk about the ethics of how you take advantage of people, how you are gaming the system by selling them a pretty lie and never, ever bothering to give them the ugly truth. I have an open door policy here, but I do have some restrictions. Like, I'm not going to platform somebody that's victimizing a victim of an unaliving event's family by saying she's still alive. With that guy demanded to come on my show. No, I really don't think so. But generally, like this JP guy, I'll have him on the show, but very few people have the balls to actually, come on my show, because most of these grifters will not take criticism, right? Yeah, I don't know. This JP just replied, "It's okay, brother. You do whatever you want." Okay, I don't know what that's about. I'd have him on the show, but I feel like it would be kind of a boring show, because it would be me going, "Do you have any evidence of your space adventures? Will you take a polygraph? I'll pay for it." That'd be the gist of the JP show, right? Yeah, I would love to get to 25K. I can't even get to 25K. This jerk off Ramsey selling bullshit and hoaxers. Literally, he's promoting hoaxes every time he posts a video. 600,000 subscribers. Me, I can't get to 25,000. I've been here for what, 6-7 years now. The world is not a fair place, though. I knew there would be I call it the truth tax. We get penalized. And you know what's so funny is that most people that are really into aliens and UFOs are like, yeah, I really want to get the truth about this. But the truth is, they don't want the truth, because the truth is ugly. They want the fantasy. Oh, yeah, the government's hiding the aliens. They do not want the truth. The truth is ugly. 25K is imminent. We'll get there eventually. I'm here for the long haul, right? All right, so let's get back to me educating the retarded people who watch Area 52's garbage videos. So let's get to Travis Walton, friends, because Travis Walton's story became one of the most famous abduction cases in UFO lore or mythology. It was bolstered by many witnesses of the original event, and it was paraded around as ironclad proof of extraterrestrial visitation. But in reality, it was just a sloppy hoax that has enriched Travis Walton and Mike Rogers for 50 years while collapsing under the weight of its own contradictions, suppressed failures, and recent confessions from the very men who once bolstered and propped it up. Let's talk about the polygraph failures. Travis Walton and his supporters love to trumpet polygraph tests of proof of truthfulness. They rarely mention the ones that Travis Walton failed. Shortly after his return from being abducted by aliens, the National Enquirer, which had a standing $100,000 prize for proof of alien visitation, arranged a polygraph exam for Walton and his brother Dwayne. Examiner John J. McCarthy, one of Arizona's most experienced and well-respected polygraphers, administered the test. His conclusion was completely and totally damning for Walton. He said Walton was engaged in gross deception. McCarthy noted Walton appeared to be deliberately holding his breath to distort the results of the test, a classic polygraph polymeasure when somebody is countermeasure, often employed when someone is lying and knows they're lying and is trying to pass the test anyway. McCarthy's official report stated that Walton, in concert with others, is attempting to perpetrate a UFO hoax and that he has not been on any alien spacecraft. The Enquirer and UFO group APRO agreed to keep the failed lie detector test secret. Only later, when the suppression leaked, did the public learn the best documented abduction case had flunked its first lie detector test spectacularly. Decades later, in 2012, Walton appeared on a Fox game show, Moment of Truth, where contestants answer increasingly personal questions while hooked to a polygraph, all for cash prizes. When asked point blank, were you abducted by a UFO on November 5th, 1975? Walton answered yes. The machine ruled it false. This moment aired to millions. Walton's defenders later attacked the show's methods, as they do any inconvenient result. But the pattern is clear. Whenever the testing wasn't controlled by a sympathetic UFO researcher, Walton failed the lie detector tests. He has passed other tests, most notably ones arranged by UFO advocates using examiner Cy Gilson. Skeptics note that these were often inconclusive for some crew members, poorly administered by modern standards, or they cherry-picked the data while the damning McCarthy results were completely buried. Polygraphs are already a problem for some people. The selective presentation here reeks of damage control. Then the biggest damning problem for Travis Walton and his supporters or the primary witnesses are breaking ranks. It was all a fabricated hoax, said one original witness. For nearly 50 years, the case's strength supposedly rested on multiple corroborating eyewitnesses from the logging crew that was there with Travis Walton when the aliens allegedly abducted him. That foundation has now cracked wide open because Mike Rogers, the crew boss and Walton's future brother-in-law, was the primary witness who claimed to have seen the UFO in the beam. In March 2021, Rogers posted on Facebook that he was, quote, no longer to be considered a witness to the Travis C. Walton supposed abduction. He called Walton dishonest and expressed anger over Walton allegedly keeping movie remake plans secret from him and cutting him out of the money. Worse for believers, audio surfaced from a recent recorded call between Rogers and a filmmaker. And for those unaware, Rogers was on the logging crew when this alleged alien encounter took place. He bolstered the story. He backed up the story. He said he saw the alien, or said he saw the alien spaceship, and said he saw a beam from it hit Travis Walton. But in a recent phone call, Rogers explicitly described the incident as a staged hoax. He said, we were talking in the woods one day. We were talking about creating a UFO hoax. It was all deliberate. It was all a staged thing, Rogers said. Rogers later backtracked and reconciled with Walton after public backlash, issuing apologies, but the recorded words remain. Then came the final nail in this story, as far as I'm concerned. Mike Rogers died recently in February 2026. His daughter Michelle publicly stated in a since deleted Quora post that on his deathbed, her father confessed the entire 1975 incident was a hoax he and Travis Walton orchestrated together to make money. He reportedly wanted to unburden himself of multiple hoaxes. So then another crew member present who used to bolster and back up the story has changed their tune. Steve Pierce, another crew member present that night and who has been long cited as a corroborating witness, has also come forward in recent statements echoing that it was all a fabricated hoax. Pierce has described profound trauma from carrying the lie for all these years, claiming it ruined lives and relationships, and pointed to Rogers' deathbed admissions as confirmation that Walton and Rogers staged the whole event for notoriety and a potential payout. So the multiple independent witnesses pillar has collapsed in the Travis Walton case. Now, two original witnesses to the event are saying it was a complete and total stage hoax designed to make money. 50 years of cashing in on the lie. That's how many years Travis Walton, who's been a fixture at UFO conferences, conventions, documentaries, television show, books. While the story's credibility has eroded, Walton's bank account certainly hasn't. He turned the alleged trauma into his own cottage industry. There are books like The Walton Experience and retitled Fire in the Sky. There was a Hollywood movie in 1993 which dramatized and in places heavily fictionalized his story. There have been documentaries and TV deals, multiple productions, including Travis, the true story of Travis Walton, appearances on paranormal shows, and endless conference circuits and live speaking fees. Then there's the prize money. Originally, the National Enquirer awarded the group $5,000. And there has been ongoing exploitation. Travis Walton has, for decades, been taking paid speaking engagement, doing interviews, books, and media deals. Walton built his entire career and public persona entirely on this single night's alien abduction story. Skeptics like Philip J. Klass long argued the motive was financial. The logging crew was behind on a federal contract and facing penalties. A dramatic UFO incident like this provided an excuse, publicity, and a potential financial windfall. The pattern fits perfectly. Dramatic disappearance, quick return with the sensational stories, suppressed negative evidence, and decades of monetization. The bottom line is the Travis Walton case has always been a hoax. But it's a hoax that refuses to die because it pays. There's no physical evidence, no spacecraft fragments, no alien implants, no verifiable medical anomalies beyond what stress or fabrication could produce. The story has shifted in details over the years. Hypnosis has been used, which is notoriously unreliable for recovering memories. Early investigators noted that Walton's prior interests in UFOs. And just 2 weeks before he was apparently abducted by aliens, there was a TV movie dramatizing the Betty and Barney Hill alien abduction, and it aired nationally just 2 weeks before the Travis Walton incident, providing a ready template. The polygraph failures were hidden from the public. The crew's accounts contained major inconsistencies noted by investigators like Phil Klass. And now, in 2026, key witnesses to the original event have broken the story wide open, saying and admitting it was all a fabricated hoax. One via deathbed confession and another through direct statements labeling it as a staged fabrication. Travis Walton did not have a life-altering alien encounter with extraterrestrials. He participated in and benefited enormously from an alien hoax. An alien hoax that has misled the public for half a century. The best documented abduction case was never documented at all. It was made up, manufactured, tested, and found wanting under scrutiny, propped up by selective evidence and milked for profit long after the lies should have been obvious. The fire in the sky, my friends, was never really real. The only thing burning was the credibility of everyone who kept feeding into and selling and profiting from the myth. All right. Let's check in with the Kick Chat. Just a moment to remind everybody that we are a viewer-supported show. I read every single super chat. I thank every single supporter. And tonight we'll be counting every bit of support towards the support goal. So we thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. We recognize and read every single super chat. Please support the streams if you want to see them continue. This summer slump has got me a little down, right? I'm looking at the support. I'm looking at the views. I'm looking at the slow sub growth count. I mean, it kind of happens every summer, but it still makes me kind of sad. We work just as hard in the summer as we do in the winter, but I guess more people are watching in the winter. More people watching means more people supporting. So please don't be shy. Please support these streams if you want to see them continue. All right, let's get to the video. I'll put my fair use banner up because these grifters love to file false copyright claims, but what we're doing is considered fair use. This is fair use. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public. We're critiquing the video that we are sharing. We're educating the public about these two hoaxers who lied to everybody for decades to make money. And we have provided sufficient evidence and proof in the beginning of our broadcast here, and we'll be discussing this video as we're playing it. I'll be sharing live comments so you can help me make it further transformative, and I truly appreciate that. All right, 1 second. Let's get to the video here. Also, I wanted to ask the Patreon supporters and the YouTube channel members, would you like to see when I do a scripted written piece, would you like to see that in the members section? Would you like me to post the PDF files? I think it would be helpful for other researchers, and maybe would be a good thing to give everybody a little extra content. Because sometimes, honestly, I race through these things and I skip parts. Like tonight, I skipped some parts. It's running a little long. All right, so, oh no, how is this happening? It says it's still processing. I uploaded this hours ago. All right, I'm gonna have to download it and play it as a video. I apologize. Just bear with me 1 moment. How is it still processing? I don't get how it's still processing. I uploaded to Google Drive like hours and hours and hours and hours ago. Let me. This video is still processing for playback. Oh no. All right, well, before we do that, let's get to another piece of Bob Lazar evidence that I found. This is interesting. And thanks to the viewer who sent this to me. I don't know if you want me to say your name from your email online, so I'll just say thank you. For decades now, Bob Lazar supporters, Bob Lazar originally said that Edward Teller, one of the fathers of the hydrogen bomb, famous physicist, he's the one who got Bob Lazar the job working on the alien spacecraft. And for decades, people have shown a video clip of Edward Teller refusing to talk about Bob. And people use that and say, well, that's the proof that Bob Lazar really did get that job from Edward Teller, because it's all secret. So Edward Teller refused to talk about it. I just found out, this is what's great about these hoaxers. As time goes on, more and more information comes out to prove that it's all a hoax. It turns out that Edward Teller said, I don't remember him. I don't remember him at all. You could say that he said things about me. I don't remember meeting him. I don't remember talking to him at all. They cut the video short, and somebody sent me the whole video, which when you hear that he says, I don't remember meeting him, it kind of puts things into perspective. Like, oh, so that so-called piece of proof that people have, people latched onto this and said he refused to talk about it. Therefore, that's proof that Edward Teller knew Bob Lazar. No, he said he didn't remember him in the full context of the clip. And again, selective editing, they control what information they give you and they massage the data for things that make the story look true, and they leave out the things that make the story look fake. So here's Edward Teller being asked about Bob Lazar. I don't remember him.
Did you ever know a man named Bob Lazar?
So he's asked, did he ever know a man named Bob Lazar, and showed a picture of Bob Lazar.
What about if you want to know, then sit down and talk.
That's
Not
what we're doing
in,
right now.
no,
Well, the camera's not rolling.
I
I'm just
understand.
talking.
But you see, you have a limited amount of time. You want to understand this. You need several hours.
If I ask you on camera if you know Bob Lazar, can you just say no?
I will sit silent. Can you tell me who he is?
Can you tell me who he is? Edward Teller didn't even know who Bob Lazar was. Can you tell me who he is? So we're supposed to believe that Edward Teller, no, I'm sorry, there's no more volume. But hold on. I have a volume booster here. 1 second. We'll play the video again. I apologize, it's low. So he's given a picture.
What about if you want to know, then sit down and talk.
That's
Not
what we're doing
in,
right now.
no,
Well, the camera's not rolling.
I
I'm just
understand.
talking.
But you see, you have a limited amount of time. You want to understand this. You need several hours.
If I ask
And he's not talking about understanding Bob Lazar. He's talking about the subject of the total interview.
you on camera if you know Bob Lazar, can you just say no?
I will sit silent. Can you tell me who he is?
Can you tell me who he is? So this is the clip, and they cut it right before he said, they always cut it right before he said, can you tell me who he is? Right? Amazing. We want to thank Dave Whiteman for a kind and generous $2 super chat. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and big support of the show. Bob's a liar. Yes, we've clearly established that. But thank you, Dave Whiteman, for your kindness, generosity, and support.
Raise the cash, raise the cash.
All right. Let us continue, friends. One moment. I'll check in with the Kick Live chat while we're at it here. We've got Revolter. PPK just sent a full send. 100 kicks. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and big support of the show. We love the kick support, mostly because we keep most of it. Thank you for your kindness.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
All right. We're praising the cash just fine tonight. Let's continue. So for years and years, this clip has been used as proof Bob Lazar was telling the truth because Edward Teller refused to talk about him. So it must be all top secret. No, you cut the fucking video right before he asked, who is Bob Lazar? He doesn't even know who Bob Lazar is. We're supposed to believe that Edward Teller, the father of the hydrogen bomb, met Bob Lazar and was so impressed with his jet car work that he got him the most top secret job in the United States at Area 51, working on alien flying saucers. But then just a few years later, when he was asked about him, he doesn't even know who the guy is. Come on.
Yeah, I can tell you who he is. He's a scientist out in Reno, Nevada, that worked at a place called Area 51. That's Sector 4 within Area 51. And he says that you've been there and that he knows you and that you helped him get a job out at Area 51 Sector 4. You met him at Los Alamos on June 28th, 1982.
How many people did Edward Teller get a job at Area 51? How many people could he have gotten a job? He doesn't remember getting Bob a job at Area 51. It's not like he's getting hundreds of people jobs at Area 51, the most top secret base in the United States, if not on the earth.
You were giving at Los Alamos a lecture on SDI, and he says you know about all the things I'm talking about, and that you most likely wouldn't talk to me about them because he says they exist, but people in general
He's shaking his head.
don't want them. The people in
Look, I don't know about this. All this sounds fine. I probably met him. I might have said to somebody, I met him and I liked him. after I met him and if I liked him. You don't remember.
I might have met him, but I don't remember. I might have said to somebody I met him and liked him, but I don't remember. I mean, I don't believe the guy's senile. He is an older gentleman, but he was one of the smartest physicists on Earth, the father of the hydrogen bomb, doesn't remember meeting Bob Lazar. So this doesn't make any sense. If he was so impressed with Bob Lazar that he would get Bob Lazar a job, he would remember Bob Lazar. Doesn't remember Bob Lazar. I don't remember him. That's what he's saying.
And why should I say that on camera? I mean, look, you are trying to force that I simply won't.
Why should I say that on camera? You're trying to force that. All right, so there is new. This I haven't seen that anywhere yet. We're the first major YouTube channel to broadcast that, I think, and thanks very much to the viewer and fellow truth seeker. We have fellow truth seekers all over the world feeding me good information, and we want to thank Christine Climo for being a member for 16 months. 16 months of support. Whoa, buddy, felt the liar, Stephen. It's making them so mad, it's funny to watch. Yeah, they get pissed off, but we thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And for 16 months of making it rain up in here, 16 months of support. Thank you so much, Christine Clean. I should have made him say it 16 times for you. Sorry. But we thank you for your kindness. Now let's see if we can figure out how to... Yeah, I rely on Google Drive far too much. We'll see if we can't share the video file, which I have now downloaded from my Google Drive. We don't want to be interrupted. We don't want to be interrupted by commercials, because these grifters, they all have their videos turned up to like, 11. They all have the commercials turned up to like 11. It's absolutely ridiculous what some of these bigger channels do. Like, I guess I got to get YouTube Premium because I sleep to podcasts. And it's so annoying. Do you ever get stuck on one of those 5-minute long commercials that don't skip? Like it just keeps playing and playing and playing. But anyway, all right, we're going to fast forward a little bit here because he might be using copyrighted music. A lot of the grifters do. They like using copyrighted music so that people that are critical of them get copyright claims. I'm not saying that's happening in this case, but it may be. And hey, well, 1 second here. We want to thank Heath Jet. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know if you want me using your name. Some people wish to remain anonymous. Heath Jet is who sent me this Edward Teller information, which is just a perfect example, Heath Jet, of how they massage the data. They've been using that clip for decades to prove that Bob Lazar was telling the truth. And it turns out they massaged the data. They clipped the video. They cut out the part where he said he doesn't remember him and he won't. It's just a perfect example of that. And thank you, Heath Jet, for your kindness, generosity, and big support of the show, both for the information and for the kind and generous $5 super chat, one for the gold.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
We thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support, all of you. And thanks, Heath Jet. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I should have emailed you. Do you want me to mention your name? But thank you for providing this information. And let's get to the video now.
Human-like beings that you saw.
Yeah.
And by the way, oh man, I can't control the volume. So I apologize if the levels will be off. I'll be, let me see if I can check back in. Is it still not processed? So we're going to have to do it this way. And I apologize if the audio levels are off. If you're an audiophile, they love to message me and critique the audio levels were off, Stephen. Well, I'm sharing a video through StreamYard. I can't control the levels. So I apologize if the levels are off, if I'm too low or too loud or this is too loud. I apologize. Right?
What made you so sure that they weren't human?
Well, the sort of rigid, pre-planned movements, the controlled movements.
Oh, so they didn't move.
Travis claimed that besides the gray-looking aliens that he encountered, he also encountered Nordic human-looking aliens that were in space costumes and helmets, like jumpsuits, typically what most people in alien or UFO land would call the Nordics. So if you're just joining us, we're showing you the grifter team up between two proven lying scumbag hoaxer profiteering alien scumbags, Bob Lazar and Travis Walton, right?
Well,
So, yeah, Travis Walton looks pretty rough. I have not seen him look this kind of old and haggard and beat up. He's not looking well at all.
they
Smoothly
moved
like,
like they should, but I'm in a panic, screaming, yelling, and everything.
Sure.
And they're just maintaining this. They're cool, calm, and collected, and just
Yeah, thank you.
on task.
And I saw another
But-
email from
but
you. I didn't get
physically,
to it yet.
they're, I mean,
Yeah,
they just seem like,
I think that was the intention, the plan. Is
maybe to make you more comfortable.
something
seeing
to
something.
make me cooperate. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I had recently looked at Fire in the Sky, the movie.
Hmm.
And in fact, I was trying to show my wife, Joy, your story. And holy cow, there is so much contradicting information
Yeah.
about everything. Every
Well,
single thing you look at tells a different story, and they're all wrong. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I understand that, Hollywood dramatizations are not documentaries, but I think they went a little too far afield, and they knew it.
Oh, they knew it.
Yeah, they didn't put the part aboard the craft in the copy of the script that they gave me.
Really?
Yeah.
Copy of the script.
So,
So,
I mean, just
They
to
knew
be
I wasn't
clear,
going to like that.
the whole thing with you in the membrane and the dead bodies and
Yeah.
them drilling in your eye, none of that.
Yeah.
They just fabricated all that, and you didn't know about that ahead of time.
Right.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Well, there's a few things that,
I think we should start a new feature on Truth Seekers with hate mail. Somebody just sent me a message earlier today, and they said they hope my dick rots and falls off. That's a new one. Wow, damn, right? And again, I was nothing but kind to this viewer, and of course, it's somebody else that has a channel, and they're pissed off that I have more subscribers than them or something, and that I'm a Christian. Like, okay, sorry, whatever. Oh God.
could be class.
The best hate mail I ever get is from people who were once big fans of mine and then they turn into haters for whatever. I don't even know what I did to this girl, right? I didn't do enough to help her. That's what a lot of these people have problems with. Like I'm supposed to platform them and feed them subscribers and help them. Nobody, with the exception of Kino Casino, really ever helped me. Oh, Nerd City did too. So I can count the people that helped me get subscribers or helped grow my channel on one hand. 3 people, really. I'm sure there was a few others, alien scientists and maybe a few others. But I can still count them on one hand, right? Like nobody has to help you with your channel. Nobody's obligated to. But if I did, right? Solo Man says, I will donate if and when you can disprove David Adair. We've done several shows on him. Hold on. You guys have to really learn to use the search function. And I know a lot of people don't because many people just consume my content on their phone. But if you go to the search feature and go to David Adair, you'll find several videos where we destroy his fake stories. Completely and totally destroy his fake stories. And I will go over to the live chat and I will pin that in the live chat just so you're forced to donate. I can and did disprove. Oh no, David Adair. I'm sorry. I confused him with who was that other David? One second. No, we never covered David Adair. He was supposed to do an interview with me 6 times, but he never did. So I apologize for that. Oh no, Dave. I'm confused. Hold on. Yeah, David Adair, we did do videos on. There's another guy, David Serrata. I was confused with, there's too many Davids, right? But hold on, I will go to the YouTube live chat and I'll give you the playlist for the David Adair videos where we did disprove him. David Adair videos. And I really encourage you to please use the little magnifying glass. I know you can only use it on desktop, and many people do the phone, so they, but if you're curious that we've covered, people say this to me all the time, like, have you ever covered Emery Smith? Yeah, 10 times. Use the search tool and put in whatever grifter's name that you want, and we will, you'll be able to see that we did cover them. 1 second. Why is it not letting me pin it? Oh no, it says it's pinned. All right, 1 second here. Let me see if that fixed it. Yes, David Adair, the guy who said all kinds of stuff, right? No, it's not pinning the message. Well, I put it in the live chat. There is the David Adair playlist. You can go and see all the David Adairs. Gooby Boxton says, I found you because of Jeremy. Yeah, he was very helpful. I and if I'm leaving anybody out, I apologize. But generally, David Adair is a funny grifter, says Patty Wilhelm. Yeah, I totally agree. All right, let's go back
It
to
is a story device.
And I'll expect a donation now. Solo
face,
man.
He's struggling to breathe, struggling to scream through it.
Oops.
I was, in my actual experience, feeling suffocated.
Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it.
How do you express that if you don't have the actor say something like, I can't breathe?
Yeah, apparently Travis Walton was not a big fan of the Hollywood movie because they changed certain things and it wasn't very accurate, even according to the other witnesses or, Travis himself. But it's Hollywood. They're going to dramatize it to sell it, right?
I get. I think you're being generous.
Show it rather than tell it. But yeah.
You said it was a super humid environment where it was hard to breathe, and
it was. It served the purpose of generating fear, and that's probably as close as you can get.
Seraphin Rose.
What was interesting to me is the size of the craft that you were in.
Yeah, and I don't know if they actually built a set for this, but I think they did. So, one of the ways to sell a lie is to dress it up. Great production, but you're still selling lies. So,
or if it was a craft or a base or whatever, because when you
I wouldn't want to drill in my eyeball either. Yeah.
And now I may have the story wrong myself. When you walked out of the craft being led by this other being, you were in some giant hangar with other crafts, right?
Even the craft we were coming out of seemed bigger than the way I remembered it in when I approached it.
Oh yeah, Doctor Who. The craft is bigger inside than it looks like on the outside.
Did you think it was the same craft?
It was the same shape.
Okay.
But, it's also the same shape as what you're reporting. I've always been struck by reports, descriptions of your craft resemble.
Yeah, because he's a big fan of UFOs.
What we saw more than any other report that I've seen,
That's really interesting.
I rarely comment.
This doesn't make
other
sense.
Events or other people's.
Because how could the craft that took Travis Walton be the same as the Bob Lazar craft, which is 50 foot? When he's saying he went into one area of his spaceship and there was all these other spaceships inside a hangar. I guess Travis was in a mothership. I really don't know. Troll. Oh, this is going to get on my nerves. With One for the Goal, you showed at least 2 interviews of David Adair by Michael Sala. They are still my favorites. Yeah, they're so ridiculous, some of these guys. David Adair, for those that don't know, said that the government offered him billions of dollars. The Saudi government or some foreign government offered him billions of dollars to create a competing space agency. and he was going to go buy a bunch of space shuttles. But just one problem with that, they stopped the company that would be able to make a space shuttle, stopped making the space shuttles ages before he said he was going to buy more. It just, the whole thing falls apart. It's completely, totally ridiculous. But thank you, longtime show supporter Troll, for your kindness, generosity, big support of the show. Let's go. Let's hit a goal for once.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
All right. We thank you, Troll. David Adair is kind of one of my favorite grifters because his stories are just so ridiculous. Like he's this
reports
science hero,
one,
but he doesn't know the first thing about science. So it's kind of funny, right? All right.
I've always found interesting and didn't mind saying before.
Yeah, so Travis Walton's a big fan of Bob Lazar's fake story. Two hoaxers that really appreciate each other's hoaxes. Great. Let's fast forward that, maybe copyrighted music, and I apologize.
It looked very angular from outside from a distance, and I was preoccupied with.
You're right, Christine Klimo. They do come across as liars.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't have time really to
study the architecture.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found us too, Christine Klimo. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought they might have been similar in that way, but that did you have any kind of feeling?
By the way, you got to love the product placement. You see the mugs that these two assholes are using? They say like flying saucers on them, and they have a flying saucer on them. Of course, the guy who made this video is now selling the flying saucer mugs in his shit store, right? I got to get that going again, right?
That craft.
These two hoaxers love each other, says Cody Crow. And I apologize. For whatever reason, let me see if I can change brands. If it's showing the video, it's screwing up sharing the comments. Let me see if we change brands, if that's going to change it. Oh, let's see. One moment here.
What this big thing was? Did it
there
feel
we
like
go.
It was?
Now I can share the comments.
Yeah,
thank you, Cody Crow.
Outside, the
two hoaxers love each
light
other.
that was coming through the surface of the larger enclosure. Now, whether that was a building somewhere, maybe on Earth or somewhere else, or part of a larger.
Notice how Walton is always very vague, right? Oh no, now it's behind it. Damn it.
Craft. I don't.
I'll just read your comments, guys. I'm not going to be sharing many on the screen, so I apologize. We'll get this video situation straightened out. Tomorrow, I'll upload whatever video I'm going to be doing commentary on in the morning, and that should have plenty of time by 7 p.m. to process it. Geez, it's only an hour-long video. I don't know what's going on over on my Google Drive.
I couldn't see outside, but it was a very natural colored light, kind of like sunlight.
Oh, okay. It seemed natural, not artificial, like it was.
Yeah.
So
not extremely bright, but just like natural light.
But it was large enough to hold, what was it, 2 or 3 crafts in there with more room? Yeah. That's
Again, I was preoccupied with, where are you taking me? What's going on? You know, I felt like I was suffocating, like I was dying. I was injured, and I was begging, pleading for explanations from this person.
Oh, I see some kick support has rolled in, so let me address that. Just call me a rope. Just sent a skull emoji, 50 kicks. And Revolver PPK sent full send 100 kicks. So we thank you both for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Praise the cash, friends. And now I have to change this again. I don't know what's going on tonight. Technical fun. There we go. Praise the cash. Thank you, kick supporters.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
All right.
That I think was probably selected for the purpose.
You know what I think would be really funny if these two started like really skeptically going, why'd you lie about, if Travis was like, why'd you lie about working at Area 51, Bob Lazar? And then Bob Lazar, why'd you fail all the lie detector tests, and lie about getting abducted by aliens, Travis Walton.
Of reassuring me and getting my cooperation.
I guess that it kind of worked to some degree.
Yeah, it did.
But he never uttered a word. You never heard.
No, he
Anything-
didn't respond.
Mm.
None of them did. Even
Yeah, stealthy
when
outside. David
I
Adair did
started
have some good
to
stories.
demand more of a response from him.
That's really interesting. The time from when, well, I have a lot of questions. They're kind of jumbled in my mind.
Well, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
He's gotta be
heard
in
so
his
many
70s.
theories about it, but when you guys, all got out of the truck to see the craft,
Yeah, that looks like a rug to me, but I don't know
everybody
if it
else
is.
got back and you stayed there.
No, actually, I got out of the truck, and none of the rest of them did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, too old to be
See,
using
So
hair
you
dye.
just went out to investigate. Everybody else stayed
Yeah.
behind.
And that kind of led to some strange reactions. Steve, he was in the truck and he didn't get out. And his girlfriends would say, Steve, how come you didn't get out of the truck? And he said, it's because I had stronger resistance to
Predator
mind
fell in
control.
the woods.
He's claiming that mind control made us get out of the truck, but he resisted. I said, Steve, the mind control was to make you stay in the truck.
Yeah, and Steve is the person who just came out and said it's a complete and total hoax. So it's funny, Travis is referencing. I guess you don't want to tell Bob Lazar that guy just said that your whole story was a fabricated hoax for money, Travis?
I was the one that was resisting it. Just kidding, but it wasn't mind control, but he was trying to act like he had to come up with an excuse for why he didn't jump out too.
Yeah, he needed to be a tough guy.
I wished I'd have done like him and stayed in the truck.
Yeah. So you got behind a tree stump or something to that effect to kind of hide. And one of the theories I heard was the craft was about to take off. I think you said.
Yeah, but there was no craft. It was a fire tower that they lit up. There was no craft, Bob Lazar, you moron.
You heard a hum like it was powering up.
Yeah.
Yes,
it got
nothing like
louder.
massaging the truth.
The sound was already there.
And then I think somebody was calling back in the truck
Alan
and you
Dallas.
stood up.
What?
And then you got hit by, there was a beam, a bolt or something from there. And you went flying.
I
You were
agree,
like
Steve
20
Mack.
feet high or
Really-
something like
Yeah,
that.
they were all
muddy the waters.
swearing at me to get in the truck, calling me crazy, and which was foolish. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, well, we all do crazy stuff at times. But getting thrown, them
Except there is
witnessing
no
that,
tech.
the
There's no
getting
physical
hit by the
evidence.
bolt
There never is.
flying
just
in the
say no.
sky, they assumed by the time you hit the ground you were dead, which is why they took off.
They said he's dead. He's dead. Let's get out of here. That's what they tell me. I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were offline, so to speak. So the theory that I heard was, from the aliens' point of view, the craft was just taking off. You
There were
stood
no
up. It
aliens.
just accidentally discharged on you and killed you.
Yeah.
And the reason they brought you on was more like an ambulance move, was just to bring you
I
back
think
and
kind of
reanimate you.
This is a new part of the story that has been added. Travis later kind of remembered, like, actually, they weren't trying to hurt me. They were trying to help me because they shot me with this big blue laser by accident and it almost killed me. So they brought me on the craft because only their medical technology could save me. No, I just don't know. All right. We want to thank Caney Death Squad for your kindness, generosity, and support. I enjoy that there is an AI generated liminal space, even more that it's a diner that no one under the age of 40 would even recognize. Clearly, they know their audience is old. Yeah, it might be green screen for all I know. Probably. Yeah, I doubt they built the whole set. It's probably just a virtual diner set, maybe. But like I said, they have to really, they have to really dress this up in order to sell a lie. It's put a lot of production into it, Katie Death Squad. But thank you, longtime show supporter Katie Death Squad, for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Big show supporter. Thank you, Katie Death Squad.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
All right, we'll go back to the video. And I apologize, but we want to show those super chats, especially on the screen.
You've heard that
An
before?
accident occurred because I made a foolish move, standing up, closed the distance between me and it, and this discharge happened. I could feel a strange charge in the air before I even got,
Oh, that's
that
interesting.
close.
So,
But
kind of
I didn't know whether it was from all these weird sounds it was making,
Yeah, maybe it's just green screen and two benches and a table. Who knows?
or some energy emanating from the craft itself. But when I stood up, that was when my head was the closest to the surface of it, and then the blast of
an
energy.
ambulance move.
No, I didn't see the energy.
He was cheating with a friend's
you
wife.
just stood up and bam, the lights
The
went
crew
up for you.
describes it in different ways. One guy described it as
good to know.
a foot wide
God bless the
beam,
Kino
like
Casino.
a laser beam. Another said it looked like a long blue flame.
Yeah, I don't know if he was
So,
CIA. If he was, he was a useful idiot.
It was basically different
negligent
words used to describe
discharge,
the
yes.
same visual.
How far was your head from the edge of the craft at that time? Your guess before it.
It was only like 5
famous
feet, less than 10
color
feet.
orange.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought
I don't know.
it was like 50 or 60 feet away. So
No,
it was,
no, a lot closer than that.
so you were right alongside the craft. So
Yeah.
that's
The increase in
Yeah, how does
sound
Bob know
and
all this? He's
motion
always claimed to
scared
not
me.
be a UFO
And
guy.
when I jumped for cover happened to be
No,
closer
it's
to
Bob
it.
Lazar,
So
Barnes Auto Detailing.
I got down behind the log there, and the screams to get out
it
of
might
there,
be
get
true,
back
I
in the
know
truck, got louder.
He appeals
And,
very.
I didn't need to be told. I was
He appears to be a nice
sort of
old
torn
man, so you
between
want to
the
believe him.
fear of
being discovered, maybe.
coming out from under cover, or
What does he eat? Peach pie?
I was going to run back to the truck, and bam, just felt this electric shock,
Big budget.
stunning
Couldn't get him a
force
meal?
go
Just a
through
piece of pie?
my body. If you ever been hit playing football or something, you didn't see it coming. That stunning sort of, it's
Come
a
on, man.
feeling of being stunned.
Oh yeah.
Because we are thanking. Why do I play an annoying sound? Because we're thanking our supporters, which, by the way, I noticed you're not one of, but you're complaining, though. Isn't that interesting that the people who complain about the show aren't the donors?
Yeah.
God forbid I thank the donors.
And of course, I know what electric
And I'm
shock
sorry,
feels
I'll
like
always
too.
do that. If you don't like it, then go, I don't know what to tell you. People cried
If you're
about the horn.
enjoying
I
your
stopped
time
using the
at the
horn.
Flying Saucer Diner.
Yeah. Buy the Flying Saucer Diner merchandise. Great. Product placement, right?
Because he did it in a
And listen, I understand some people don't like the noise or whatever. What do you want me to do to thank the supporters? Almost every live stream plays a sound effect when somebody sends a super chat. Almost every live stream I've ever seen does that. So we're not doing anything strange here, right? Yeah, become a donor or quit your bitching. Watch it.
style, a technique, to where I was put under.
You too can buy a Flying Saucer napkin dispenser, right? Oh, I don't know. I might have missed your email. I get a lot of emails. Read what I emailed you and go to the free book. Email it to me again. I'll check it out, right? People always tell me, oh, this book's full of evidence. And then I get the book and I read 50 pages of stories. I'm not interested in stories. I'm interested in physical evidence, right? They have both been eating free pies their whole damn life thanks to this grift. Yeah.
as an observer to what was happening to me rather than the
Shut up,
experience.
Brokies. I had to come over from Kick to tell you
And,
that. Yes.
The reason I'm, in hindsight, grateful for that is because one of the crew members.
And by the way, our content is now and will always be free, but we do thank the supporters when they send support. So Charles McDonald is a big show supporter, the MVP of gifted memberships, which reminds me, make sure you smash the subscribe button, because if somebody gives some free Truth Seekers memberships, you could win one, but you got to be a subscriber, not yet a channel member. You got to be a subscriber and be in the live chat. And if somebody gives a free membership, you could win one, but make sure you smash the subscribe button. Huge boost to our channel. And thank you, Charles McDonald, for your kindness, generosity, and support. He's always making it rain up in here. All right, we will return. And I get it. I try to make everybody happy. I really do. People didn't like the horn. So I stopped using the horn because so many people complained it woke them up when they're trying to sleep to my show, which if you're sleeping to my show, I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but okay. I sleep to podcasts, so I guess I understand, right? If you don't like the sound, cover your ears, says Sherry. Tax-free, bitch. Yes.
Was directed to relive it. And it was a hugely traumatic for him. I mean,
I don't think people want to ride the mute button the whole time they're watching the show.
Body movements and
I would imagine
reaction was probably pretty horrible.
Brokies till payday.
It was not necessary to.
I get paid once a month. Well, no, really.
Get at the memory of what happened.
On the first, I get some money from Spreaker and Patreon, so twice a month. But it's rough out there, right? And we thank you, Stuckelberg's dog, for your kindness, generosity, and support. The lamp looks like a UFO. Call Lou. Yeah, exactly.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
Thank you, Stuckelberg's dog, big show supporter. And we are racing towards the goal. We might actually hit a goal today. Imagine that. Imagine that. Even with the summer slump.
Did you find anything out through
I'm hating this video player thing. What is going on? I just checked with my Google Drive. The video is still processing. It's only an hour long, and I uploaded it to my Google Drive 4 hours ago. Does it really take that long? And thank you, Stuckelberg's dog. He's a longtime show supporter. Big support from all of you tonight, including Stuckelberg's dog. Great to see it. I'll check in on the Kick live chat. No, we're good there.
Notice that you didn't. I mean, sometimes it reveals some things here and there. Was there anything?
It served a purpose in the sense that
hypnosis is extremely unreliable for recovering memories. And the whole thing with him going under hypnosis, you hoaxed the whole event. The guy who hoaxed it with you admitted on his deathbed that you faked the whole thing. So him going under hypnosis to try to recover more memories from a hoaxed event is kind of retarded, if you ask me.
What I recalled, I was unable to communicate. I hadn't even told my brother what had happened. I couldn't. I was just so extremely traumatized. So it removed that to where I could actually talk about it without.
How were you traumatized by an event that you staged and hoaxed?
Secondary negative effect, you know. That really aided in my recovery a lot. Dr. Harder was amazingly calming in his technique. Got rid of a lot of that.
He failed 2
fear
polygraphs. We talked about it at the beginning of the show.
Living with everything.
Perfect timing.
There's sugar there as well if you need.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. Well, that's good to hear. That's something.
Tell the Cousins twins about that UFO lamp. They need
monumental
content.
Trauma.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And but by the way, I just want to say that Area 52 is the most dishonest, disingenuous, unethical content creators since Third Phase of Moon.
It didn't reveal anything that you had forgotten or didn't. couldn't pull out of your memory.
No.
Okay, so everything was pretty much
Yeah, it should be a red flag.
while
yeah.
you were conscious.
Yeah.
You remember everything pretty clearly.
You know.
Yeah, my son demands a cut.
You
When
know,
we
I
use
had
the
to
cash clown bumpers, he wants some of the money. He wants a royalty.
conclude certain things based on events.
Yeah, he
you know,
does deserve a
This
pay raise.
must be the case. But I do try to distinguish between what I'm directly experiencing, perceiving, and what I
Brain
figure
scan.
probably
Yeah.
explains what I experienced.
Hmm. Are you still in contact with any other guys? Well, you said
I tried to stay in contact with all of them, and
you said a few of them have died, right?
Oh, he gets a cut.
they did.
He gets
And,
all
I
kinds of video
contacted Dwayne
games bought
Smith,
for
and
him.
I said, hey, I'd like you to come out and speak with me. And he says, sure.
Yeah, are you still in contact with any of the guys? Yeah, except for the two that said that we hoaxed the whole thing. I don't talk to those guys because they're ruining my grift, right? They're ruining my scam.
You know, I said, but I'm looking really terrible. I'm having my teeth redone. So after I get my teeth redone, I'll come out and speak with you.
Hmm.
And then he passed away right after that.
Oh, sorry
so
to
he's
hear
talking
that.
about Mike Rogers.
Yeah. It was sad. I did tape the conversation, though, and here this many years later, you know, his memory was fresh and as, you know, in sync with whatever the
I
rest
guess he's
of us.
talking about Mike Rogers because I don't think any of the other
Were there any
primary
hard
witnesses are
feelings
deceased
between you
now.
and any of the other
I
boys?
think some, you know, it developed over
Yeah, there were. Oh no, I lost my place.
I experienced.
Hmm. Are you still in contact?
And he said,
Hard feelings.
after I get my teeth redone, I'll come out and speak with you.
Hmm.
And then he passed away right after that.
Oh, sorry to
Two
hear
liars
that.
sitting there thinking they got
It
over
was
the
sad.
entire
I did
world.
tape the
Get the fuck out
conversation,
of the
though,
diner,
and here this
geezers.
many years later, you know, his memory was fresh and
I think it's on
as,
filmed on a green
you know,
screen,
in
so
sync with whatever
face set,
the rest of us.
maybe I don't know.
Were there any
Yes,
hard
my
feelings
son wants
between
residual
you and any of
payments
the
for his cash.
other
I
boys?
think some, you know, it developed over time.
No, Travis
At
didn't.
first,
But
Mike would come
the guy who he hoaxed it with, Mike Rogers, on his deathbed, said it was all a manufactured hoax that they created to make money. So there's that.
out and speak with me and Steve. But then Steve started to get sort of resentful about it.
Yeah, Steve said the whole thing is a hoax. So did Mike Rogers.
He was asked by one interviewer, was there anything you would change about the experience if you could? And he said, yeah, crank up the voltage. Like he's wishing it had killed me on a state dead or something. I don't know. It wasn't
Nice.
funny to me, but
Wow.
so he quit coming out with us when the girls would say, how come you didn't get out of the truck?
Yeah,
And
imagine
then
when
he
the
developed,
conversation
he
between the
tried
two
to
of them was
come
like
up
off the
with
camera. Sure.
alternate explanations. Okay, you know, I mean, at first,
Yeah, crank
you know,
up the voltage.
every time he got a new girlfriend, he'd take a new polygraph test and prove it all over again. And then he started trying to say,
Yeah.
well,
No, he didn't take multiple polygraphs. This is bullshit. Where's the polygraph results? Here's Travis trying to sell the story. Oh, one of my witnesses, Steve, the guy who just said it was all a hoax, every time he got a new girlfriend, he took a new polygraph to prove the story was true. Can we see the data from all those polygraphs, or are you just making that up, Travis Walton?
it happened just the way we described it, but it was really the government and not.
All right. The guy who's complaining about the sounds is saying that I beg for donations. I announce that we're a viewer-supported show once. That's not begging. You're a jerk off. You're an asshole. Don't email me again. Go fuck yourself. Get out of my live chat. Eat a dick, you asshole. We're a viewer-supported show. I'm going to play a sound effect to thank the viewers who are donating. And by the way, that guy has never given me a penny. He hasn't given me $1 for Patreon. but he's always in the live chat complaining. So enjoy your ban. Welcome to the DSP phase of Truth Seekers. Eat a dick. Eat a dick. Eat a dick. If your life is so empty and so meaningless that you have to constantly complain about a show that you have been leeching content from for years, sending me emails, bitching in my live chat, then you're a piece of shit. And what is your complaint? That I play a sound effect to thank the people that are supporting the show while you're leeching content and complaining, you dumb dickhead. Eat a dick. All right. Let's
aliens. Made it easier to cope with, I think. That was a sort of a
dick
oh, yeah, it's more of a down-to-earth explanation.
A way that he doesn't have to be afraid at night, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll do that. Yeah.
And one other thing.
Just for the complainer, yeah, we will do that. I gotta change here. 1 second here. Oh, 1 moment here. And I apologize. It says like welcome to Internet Insanity Circus because it was created for that show, which we'll be returning to doing on Kick. But now's a good time to remind you. I don't beg, but we have an expert beggar that'll do it for us. So eat a dick, you complaining assholes.
Welcome to the Internet Insanity Circus. Welcome. Welcome to the Internet Insanity Circus. Listen, you broke motherfuckers, we have to hit the fucking goal today. So get your fucking wallets out, you bunch of fucking leeches. Let's get some support. Let's get some Kick subscribers. Let's get some gifted subs. We need some fucking subs to hit the almighty goal. God bless the goal. If we hit 50 more goals, I'll stuff my face with shitty fast food, and you get to watch it all. How's that for a reward, you fucking morons? Here at the Internet Insanity Circus, we aren't eating lunch meat sandwiches. We need cash for some crazy expensive DoorDash meals. DoorDash delivers motherfuckers, so you better deliver those donations right into our pockets, bitches. This has been the lowest supported show so far. Too many broke motherfuckers in this audience. Don't you want to see us hit the fucking goal tonight? Let's go. Let's get some support. We need some sub bombs dropping right now. Let's not wait. Stop holding back, you cheap fucking assholes. We need the support now. The stream may be ending soon. This is your last chance to support the stream. Let's go. We need support now. Stop holding back. Let's do it. Let's hit the goal right now, and we can just enjoy the rest of the show.
And this, my friends, is why we employ the services of professional beggar Darkside Phil, because his brand of begging actually works.
Developed with Steve. I felt sorry.
It actually works, my friends. 1 second. I did see one come in. Yeah, there we go. Just Say No with a $20 donation. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And now, at the risk of angering more brokies that never donate and only come here and leech content and then complain that they don't like me thanking the actual supporters of the show, eat a dick.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
Yes, actually, we'll give a big shout out and thank you to Just Say No. Very kind and generous of you. Very kind, very kind. Thank you for your kindness. Let's continue with the show.
For him was that...
I think it's kind of, this is the whole thing, this whole setup is kind of stupid. Like, let's get two proven hoaxers together, right? Get two proven hoaxers together. Who cares what they say? They both fake their stories. They're both liars, proven liars. Bob Lazar failed some lie detector tests too, by the way, but they lied about him. They even lied about him in the lie detector tests.
I was told by the other crewman that he was one of the ones who was crying when the lawman came. Well,
thank you,
that
Steve.
was fine with Steve at first.
Oh, but he doesn't want that spread around.
And then his cousin, I think his uncle, a relative, started teasing him about being a big crybaby.
You're not seeking the truth with us here on Truth Seekers.
He got real angry about it. No, I wasn't crying. I never cried. I was strong the whole time. Mm-hmm. And so that was his big beef.
It's the shittiest, most griftery channel on the internet, on YouTube right now. And I just wonder, like, what's that like to wake up every day of your life, goat scrote? What is it like to wake up every day of your life and go, well, I need more money. Going to have to keep lying to people and selling completely and totally fake stories so I can make some money.
I said, look,
Holy
Steve.
cow. Really?
I said, Steve, I wasn't there. I was just going by what the others told me.
Yeah.
Mike cried. He's not ashamed of that. He admits to that.
Stephen never cried. Even
Yeah,
John said
that's
that
very
didn't happen.
cry-worthy.
Oh, Cody Crow.
Yeah.
Cody
I said,
Crow, did you release the other? By the way, Cody Crow is the person that did the interview with Steve, who admitted that it was all a hoax, and Travis and Mike Rogers were the ones that created the hoax. They even fooled the other guys in the logging group, and then used them to be witnesses to bolster the story. Did you release the other interview? Put it in all capital letters and let me know. And I'll share your YouTube channel in the description of the video right after broadcast. And thank you for doing that interview. He's the one who brought us the interview where the second person...
I don't know how many of the others, but...
He's the one who released the interview with the other primary witness of the event who says it was all a hoax, Mike Rogers. Yeah, part 2 is up. We have Michelle's statement too. Okay, great. I'll check it out. Cody Crow DMC. Let me go and grab your YouTube channel. Yeah, and by the way, speaking of donations, remember earlier when the guy said, if you could prove David Adair is fake, I'll send you a donation. We gave him the playlist of like 8 hours of proving David Adair is a fraud. No donation. Cody Crow DMC. I'm going to check for your channel here. Oh, Crow's Facts or Fiction podcast. So go over there and subscribe to him. He's a new channel. He's only got a few hundred subscribers. Crow's Fact or Fiction podcast. So shout out to Cody Crow. Go over there and check out his channel. Maybe we'll cover the other interview. We've been kind of on this busting Travis Walton kick lately.
He's not a crybaby.
And by the way, can you get Cody Crow? Can you get Steve to contact me? We'd love to have him as a guest here as well.
He was strong. He just doesn't know it.
More product placement.
Detractor.
Buy our UFO mugs. Oh, he's talking about detractors. Let's back it up. See what he has to say about the detractors.
Can't help it.
Yeah.
But, so a lot of jealousy developed with at least Steve and Mike.
And then what?
Oh, Steve and Mike are jealous. That's why they said that I hoaxed the whole thing, because they're jealous of me. No, Mike Rogers came out and said it was a hoax because you cut him out of the money, and we're making financial deals without cutting him in on some of the money. After all, he helped you hoax it.
Well, then, like in my case, then you start getting the detractors that start looking for those people, anybody that was close to you. That
I'm sorry to hear that, Cody Crow.
Negative thoughts, and they
wish him my best if you
hey,
talk to
can
him.
you
And
give
thank
us some
him for
dirt
telling
on
the
him,
truth
or
after all this.
just trying to create a narrative that
Yeah.
contradicts you, and it's
Yeah, it makes them easier to manipulate, and some of that happened. One detractor.
Thank you for the sub, Steve Mack.
Tracked Steve down. He's
talking about the gay porn producer Ryan Gordon.
Had changed to his.
Oh no, he might be talking about Cody Crow there.
Real name. Detractor took him out to dinner and tried to talk him into taking a $10,000 bribe to say it was all made up.
Oh, that was Philip Class.
Well, Steve got a free dinner, but he didn't get $10,000. And that sort of pressure was something that was used on Mike too.
Oh, these people are saying they sub to your channel.
Did Steve tell you that right after it happened? About getting
other researchers also,
And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It's a huge boost to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You'll know when we're doing a live event where you can come and participate in the live chat and hear me yell at the brokey complainer non-donors, right?
Interviewed him and asked about.
And by the way, I rarely ever do that. I just had enough. I got so many emails about that super chat horn, which, by the way, maybe I'll start using that again, right? Yeah. Thank you for the donation.
accidents, things like that. But that's to be expected. But you would think, man, you're a part of something like this, mess it up by trying to do something to attack somebody just because
Yeah, attack my wallet. The people that are telling everybody that the story is completely a hoax and fake are attacking. They're not attacking Travis. They're attacking his wallet and his income source for the last 50 years, right? And imagine, what if you really do believe that you were abducted by aliens? Would you turn that into your full-time career for 50 years? I don't think so. I don't think most reasonable, rational people. I think a grifter would do that. A hoaxer would do that, but not a real, genuine person, right? Yeah. Where is my 10K for saying it's all made up? I guess you need to start grifting the aliens to get paid.
the middle of the story. Oh,
Yes.
come on. You know, I wish I wasn't. Look, the movie was about.
Oh,
the
so
crew
there
boss.
is a couple of them that passed
I
away.
wasn't there for most of the movie,
Interesting.
so the actor who played me had a minor role, the crew boss, and
That's a good point.
And some of the other people on the crew had a lot more worldwide attention than me. I was just the guy.
Criticism equals gang stalking. Yeah, you can't be critical of them, or you're harassing them, right? That's so stupid. And now didn't they show a different diner at the beginning? Now this is the Flying Saucer Diner.
A lot of time's gone by. I mean, decades. What year was that? In
1975.
It was 75. Yeah, I mean, holy cow, that's a long time ago. Is this?
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that. They abduct your soul, not your
enter your mind anymore, or is it just
not your
people
physical
asking
body?
you that
What?
kind of brings it back?
Yeah, well, I'm constantly asked about it, so yeah. As much as I try to forget it.
Yeah, they retaliate by
I
doxing
a
me.
lot.
Yeah. I've
Are you
been doxed
recognized
many
when you go?
times. I just put my
Does that
address on my
Are you
show
wondering
on the
if that's why I
screen.
grew my beard back again?
Yeah.
Time goes by. But, you know, over time,
You think Travis is going to admit that this was all a hoax before he croaks? Maybe he'll do a deathbed confession. Because by then, he will have made all the money he's going to make, unless he expects his children and grandchildren to make some more money off his bullshit fake story, right? Forced astral projection, same as night terrors, where people wake up with bruises. I don't know that I believe that, but I mean, maybe there is something to the theory that it's a mental phenomenon and not a physical one, because certainly a lot of people think they have that experience.
debunkers have sort of crumbled away, being self-discredited, and
the debunkers have been discredited. Dude, you just had two people that were on the logging crew say that you guys hoaxed and faked the whole thing. No debunkers have been discredited.
more positive evidence comes up, you know, scientific investigation at the site and those sorts of things.
There is no physical evidence. There is no scientific evidence of your claims, because it was a hoax, a made-up fake story that you made up for money, you scumbag, loser, grifter.
But I guess debunkers are always a part of it.
They are. I think they're just trying to, like, anytime there's something of notoriety happening, you always have people that are just will grab onto the coattails so they can get dragged along with it. And if something's getting a lot of attention, they go, oh, no, I know this, the true story. This is a bunch of nonsense. And
well, as support for my case,
Yeah, it was a fire
over time,
tower. Yep.
investigators and media started wanting me to comment on other cases. And I had my hands full with my own case. I knew that if I gave into that, if I started commenting, okay, which cases are the good ones, which ones are the, you know, it would never end. I would be put.
Yeah, it proves their lies time and time again. You're right,
on
Christine
people.
Klima.
I said,
They don't
that's
like
not
that.
right. What I objected to so much.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
my attackers with it, they hadn't done the research. if you can't research the case thoroughly, you're not entitled to make opinions.
Mm-hmm.
However, in your case, I sort of broke that rule. People who expressed negative things, I can't break my rule of.
Notice that you're not allowed to be negative. You're not allowed to be critical, or you're a dirty debunker, right? They really don't like debunkers because it messes with their money.
Supporting other cases, I did say, but the description of the craft that Bob Lazar saw is the closest to what we saw than any other.
Looks like that's one of the only things I miss about Philly is a couple of Philly diners I really like Oregon Diner or South Street Diner. I miss the diners and diner food. There's diners here, but they're just not the same. I tried a couple of them.
The case I've ever heard of. And then there were other silly arguments I had to shoot down because they were just so silly. Well, Bob can't be telling the truth because I checked the phone book at Area 51 and he's not in the phone book. And I say, come on, it's secret. They don't put the number in the, what's in the.
No, Travis Walton, you moron. People check the flight logs in and out. If Bob ever stepped foot on Area 51, he would be in the logs, the check-in, check-out logs at Area 51. He wasn't in the logs. It had nothing to do with the phone book at Area 51, you moron. That's another thing. The grifter, scammer, hoaxers always prop each other up because the more alien and UFO stories are out there doing well, the better for their pockets and their alien fake UFO stories.
So our secret department, that was the silliest attack. One of the silly. But, I met some people say they used to go out and.
Of course he is. He wants another
party
injection of Hollywood desert, money.
Before you ever came out. And they said, Bob was telling us that story way back then before anybody knew anything. So I consider that something that really supported your credibility.
George Knapp is just another grifter there. Kieran Hill.
I don't know. There's a lot.
Well, they
Revolver, PPK, sent
employed
10 kicks and 1 kick and 1 kick and 10 kicks. And Agaz just sent a full send. And Revolver PPK
I was fortunate enough to have George Knapp, that investigative reporter from
thank you for your kindness, generosity.
Las Vegas, so interested in
Raise the cash.
to verify,
Notice he just says that George Knapp is an investigative reporter, but he doesn't mention that he's been caught selling fake alien stories with Jeremy Corbell countless times.
Some things here and there. I mean, he found my phone number in the Los Alamos phone book at the lab. And
yes, and right next to your name was the initials KM, meaning that you were a subcontractor for Kirkmeyer. You never worked directly for the lab, and Kirkmeyer only hired low-level support personnel, people like janitors, cleaners, and low-level electronics technicians. So who cares that your name was in the phone book? You said you were a senior staff level physicist. You didn't say you were an electronics technician, the kind of guy that would get somebody a new keyboard if they spilled coffee on it. You weren't doing any science at that lab. You were a subcontractor, a low-level electronics technician making very little money. You were never a scientist. His name being in the phone book is not proof he was a scientist at Los Alamos. He's never been a scientist. You need science degrees to be a scientist.
I was able to take him there, show him around, and
but it wasn't under Bob Lazar's secret project.
No.
Yeah, it was after John Lear. And by the way, people who don't know, John Lear was on a show with George Knapp describing a secret base at Area 51 where they had recovered flying saucers just a year before Bob Lazar came out with his story. So I call bullshit. I think he got half of the story from John Lear.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't want to get off on a whole weird tangent, but
spam the kick boys.
A lot goes through your mind when you start reliving all that stuff.
Asgaz sent a full send on kick. Thank you for
I'm
your
guessing
kindness,
you're kind
generosity, and support.
Like I am. I don't really have any interest in in UFOs or stories or things. I don't follow them.
Yeah, they're both liars. They are both liars. They both had a huge interest in UFOs and aliens before they came out with their story. This is proven.
I don't.
Whether you like it or not, people tell you stuff, so you begin to hear, oh, I've heard that name, I've heard about that incident, and you know, that kind of thing. But I was never really interested in the topic. I mean, before.
Yeah, Bob Lazar sat around in Gene Lear's house watching videos, or John Lear's house watching videos of flying saucers, reading books and UFO reports, looking at UFO pictures. But this is before he came out with the story. And then him and Gene Huff sat around watching all of John Lear's material that he copied for them, including pictures, VHS videos, but he has no interest in flying saucers. Bullshit. Garaji with one for the gold. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Much, much appreciated. And praise the cash. Garaji is a channel member and a long-time show supporter. So praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank God Almighty, Garazi is here to help us to praise the cash, friend.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
All right, let's get back to the video. I don't think we're going to make it. I
never even believed in it. I thought, you know, there were just.
I don't think we're going to make it to the end of this. We're only at 33 minutes in, and the video is like a little over an hour, I believe.
Either experimental government craft or something like that. But
yeah, welcome to our UK friends.
You know, being involved in the project certainly changed my mind.
Well, the reality of it is, it's not like some.
I love how he's going to talk about reality, as he's been living in a false, fake reality for 50 years, lying to people about his alien flying saucer experience that was completely hoaxed and faked.
Bizarre side story to life. It's just what is, you know. I mean, you know, it is as
he got over his migraines.
Traumatic and disrupting as it was to my life. There's nothing mystical or magical.
Well, Bob knows that another grifter is not going to call out his scammy grift, so it's like a safe talk to have. You know, it's not like Travis Walton's going to sit down with him and talk about how he's a bankrupt fake scientist, convicted pimp criminal, and his wife was a fucking convicted murderer. You know, I think he was worried that Rogan or some other interviewer might bring that stuff up. So he was super nervous about those other interviews, worrying about real questions. He doesn't have to worry about real questions. This is being hosted by a grifter, scammer, hoax promoter channel. He knows that they can't ask any critical questions on that channel.
About it, you know, it's not anything to go cultish about. It's just the way it is, you know. And
it's all about the coffee.
People don't understand why my attitude towards them, going from
sneak around getting
invading monsters, straight. You know, the attitude they had, to something.
He's part of the grift. Yeah, you're right.
Well, a big picture, you know. You know, just in my lifetime, the increase in understanding.
Sure, from the 70s?
The size and the age of the universe. Exactly. You know, what's the name of that new space telescope?
The James Webb telescope.
Yeah, the James Webb is out there getting a clear view of things. The story is they pointed it at the
big shout out and thanks to Arlene, our wonderful moderator. Always does a great job. Thank you, Arlene.
And could see hundreds of galaxies, not just stars, entire galaxies. You know, the Milky Way is one galaxy, the one we live in. And yet, the size and scope of the universe was expanded so much by the James Webb telescope because it's far bigger.
Yeah, thanks.
And it's not just everything's moving away from us.
You're all here.
Which
there are truth seekers all over the world coming here.
An artifact of what they thought.
I love when an alien grifter talks about astronomy and cosmology, proving that they're right about their alien fake space hoax.
Thought they were seeing.
What makes you think that?
Because that implied that there was a center to the universe. And that,
I would do it.
Had
if
edges.
I got that call,
and
I would do it.
they're going to have.
I can't really travel much because of my handicapped son, but in that case, I would make arrangements, right? For a big, huge, for a million plus subscriber podcast who wanted the real truth and the rest of the story that everybody leaves out, I would figure out a way to do it. I would make arrangements and do it.
To face the fact that it's infinite.
I think it's much bigger than they're even.
Yeah, the observable universe, the size hasn't
50
changed.
years ago, if you looked on a map of the known universe, it was
they're trying to shoehorn their
James Webb
stories
made
to
it
a line
bigger,
up.
and I think it's even larger than that.
Yeah.
But
he's wearing a
like
suit.
they said, from
it's almost as good as
assuming
an army
measurements are
uniform.
accurate, everything's not moving away from a central point. Everything's moving away from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And the only situation where that occurs is if you take a balloon, make a bunch of dots on it, and then blow it up, everything moves away from everything else. So it's almost like we're on the skin of something.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's the way it exists in my mind to deal with it.
It could be possible that that is an artifact of the amount of size and distance that's involved here that gives the illusion that that's the case.
Mm-hmm. It could very well be a big illusion too. What if our measurements, the redshift and what we're using to gauge distances, what if that's not accurate? Then
again, two grifters talking about astronomy that have no education in astronomy, right?
And it throws off everything that we're.
Well, maybe you could explain this to me. Maybe I'm not bright enough, but say there's a beam of light going right here between us. They're saying it's 186,000 miles per second. And nothing in the universe can go faster. Now, if you were traveling along that beam at, say, half the speed of that beam and shone a light forward, what's going to happen? The beam that you're shining is obviously...
Now we're going to hear a physics explanation from a fake physicist, so this ought to be good.
The speed of light plus the half speed that you're on.
Yeah, but it doesn't work that way.
And that's what they're saying. It makes no sense at all, but that's the way it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Bob doesn't want to explain the speed of light because he's not a real physicist, and the speed of light barrier.
Relative. They call it relative.
Yeah, that's
relative speed.
Mm-hmm. Skip this part.
If you're on a train,
we'll skip ahead a little bit.
Sketch from a autopsy report.
Oh, here's a fake sketch from his fake briefings.
I had a friend named John Lear that he was a good guy, but he used to have some really weird beliefs. He believed people lived in the sun and all kinds of crazy things. And I drew that picture for him.
Yeah, John Lear went off the rails the older he got.
So
he started out speaking very intelligently about an alien cover-up and alien crash retrievals, but he was very grounded. You can listen to interviews of his from like 1986 and 1985, and he sounded very grounded and, but talking about some weird stuff like aliens. By the end of his life, he was talking about there's 100,000 people living on Mars and the moon. Saturn is an inhabitable planet just like Earth, but they're lying to us, and they're space monsters and Vietnam and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Very famous father.
Yeah, a brilliant guy. And I mean, he invented the autopilot, the 8-track tape, a bunch of stuff. Lear.
Yeah, I met John Lear.
He did come with us a couple times out to visit. This is what made me believe at least part of the Billy Meyer story.
Billy Meyer is a complete and total fraud and hoaxer. And by the way, Bob Lazar's alien spaceship he claims that he worked on looks exactly like one of the Billy Meyer hoaxed photo alien flying saucers.
Because that looks so much like the craft.
Yeah, and the reason it looks so much like the craft is because Bob Lazar and Gene Huff got the Billy Meyer photos from John Lear just a few months before Bob Lazar magically got a job at Area 51 working on the very same spaceship, alien spaceship flying saucer that John Lear showed them photos of. Bullshit. He copied it from hoaxer Billy Meyer.
Yeah.
And does it kind of look familiar to you? I mean, it looks so much like it.
But, I think my case, and even your case,
so the famous I will
contributed to
believe
the idea that UFOs are all flying discs. But no, some of them are circular.
Yeah.
Some of them are triangular.
Yeah, these days. I wonder if just time has gone on and just like car models, things have changed, or maybe the technology.
Yeah. They stopped making those 1950s hubcaps that everybody faked flying saucers out of. So, of course, the shape of the crafts have evolved in UFO mythology.
Has changed, or maybe we're seeing visitors from somewhere else now that have their own.
Yeah.
Well,
I know people that I believe that saw them that were, they call it tic-tac shape, but it's a sort of a capsule, sort of like a vitamin pill or something, like a sphere would be if you stretched it out. They call that tic-tac, but I'm sure the candy manufacturer.
Yes, these two are definitely doing the super duper.
They should ride the wave and make a.
And Albert Ray, thanks for pointing that out. The super duper prover maneuver is when one guy who tells fake stories that has no evidence backs up another guy who's telling fake stories and has no evidence. That when these grifters' powers combined, they're becoming Griftron, the ultimate UFO alien grifter. They're combining their grifting powers.
Do you want me to clear anything away for you?
Make this hot.
Okay, sure. And there's a
Guy who
gentleman
looks
over
like
there that said there was two
Chuck
folders in
Norris
the briefcase.
is
just
Travis
found
Walton.
number 2.
And the other guy's Bob Lazar.
Oh, this looks like you.
And there's Travis's safe, down-to-earth judgment.
This is all you.
Yeah.
Was that your car?
It's nice the grifters are exchanging nice
And it
memories.
would go over 150 in the quarter mile. It was
Really?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Okay, so that wasn't stock. You did some.
No, it had over 500
Hoaxers
horsepower from the
referencing
factory.
another hoaxer.
It had enhancements on it beyond that.
Yeah, it looked like you were somewhat of a daredevil. Dirtbag. You're into fighting too. Huh?
Yeah, my first 3 bouts, I
He got
won
all of them using
by
money.
knockout in the first round.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And
it was just a minor
Billy Meyer, how can anybody
excursion into
believe this
boxing.
bullshit?
I was mostly into
So stupid.
the Asian martial arts, various styles at the time.
Now I can really see you come out fighting when you're on that table and jumping off.
Riveting
so
content from the Alien Grifter channel, Area 52.
And now I'm wondering, am I assuming the shape? Because I could only see it from this side. If it was more elongated, I wouldn't know.
Grifters have to share their recovered memories.
When studying it, I just looked over quickly as we left this large enclosure, and this very smooth chrome thing reflecting everything around it.
So chrome. So it was really
polished metal, yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that was the configuration. So you came out of the craft here.
It seemed bigger at this point.
This just seems so stupid to me. 2 bullshitters bullshitting each other, right? I wonder if one of them was like, well, my bullshit story is much better than your bullshit story.
So it could have been a bigger craft. I don't know.
And then went into yet another
room where they rendered me unconscious.
How big? Well, yeah, you wouldn't know. I'm just wondering how big of a diameter you thought that was, but It would be hard to say with
Yeah.
Looks like an episode of Stargate.
this.
Yes.
I found fascinating. The chair.
Next, he'll show us a picture of his
Did you ever sit in the
cat.
chair, or just again? There's
I
conflicting
squeezed
stories.
into it, yeah.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. And some of the films they have you just touch it, and you saw the star pattern pop up. Was there a screen in front of you, or did you see it all around you?
It was all around me. Yeah, thank you.
Travis is really not that old. He just looks
So it wasn't
like shit.
something that was projected. It just appeared all around.
Yeah,
you?
but it was only visible while I was
Yes,
in the
that's
in
the
chair
anal
or
probing
next to it.
seat. That's where they
If I
probe
was
your
farther
asshole.
away from it in any way, it was
They
just
send a
dark.
probe up your asshole.
All right, that's
the stars just
take you
appeared
to Uranus.
Where apparently they were just visible to the whoever was in the chair.
that's interesting.
Movement moved the star pattern, but not.
Was there a joystick or something?
Yeah.
Or was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Star
But
Trek
not
chair,
relative
chair
to
from a
each
puddle
other.
jumper,
The whole thing
Stardate
moved,
Atlantis.
you know,
Drawing, that's their
which
evidence.
was
Yes.
kind of affected my balance for a second, you know, because everything around me, every reference.
One moment here. We'll thank a kind and generous benefactor, Lucas Bachman, with one for the goal. At the 40-minute mark, Lazar gets special relativity wrong. Numerous experiments have proven it. He just leaves Walton hanging, doesn't even try to explain. Yeah, I think that was funny. So Travis basically asked the fake physicist a physics question, and he can't really explain general relativity. And I'm sorry, but somebody with a master's degree in physics should be able to explain general relativity. Even years after completing school, you don't forget how general relativity works. Very good point, Louis Bachman, and thank you for the big support of the show and for helping us to praise the cash, bitches.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
Thank you very much for that, and we'll continue here. I don't know how much
Where I was
longer.
standing
I don't know how much longer I want to listen to two grifters talk about their
was
scams.
moving.
Did you feel that was like in
Our King
real time
Revival
looking
says, "I'm
outside, or
probing
were you-
myself
did you
now."
feel like this is more of a map?
Ew.
And I was in a panic. I wanted out, and I was just looking for a button to open a door and get me out of there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's
The arches that you were talking about, see, from my point of view, I was looking more to the bottom side.
Yes, a new meaning to
So,
being in the hot
The
seat.
top surface could have been.
Why do aliens always
But it
want to
looks
mess with our assholes?
like that?
That's
Yeah.
what I want to know.
And that was giving off a light. It wasn't burning me. It didn't seem hot in that sense.
Did the guys in the truck
Travis is
ever
73
relate to
years
you
old.
where it looked like the beam came from? Was it just the side of the ship or something in
Well, they
particular?
were, pretty much saying that. But
Okay.
that was also the closest point of surface next to me. So if it was some kind of
He's been surpassed by
accumulated
newer
energy
fake physicists.
discharging,
Says
it
Al
would just
Garay.
be
Al Garay holding down the
because I
Twitch
was
chat.
close to it.
Do you know, I maintain the Twitch stream just for Al Garay and like the one other person that watches on Twitch. We have no viewers on Twitch. Why do we stream there? I don't know. No growth on Twitch either.
Artist put a tree there that
Yeah, I don't give it.
it would have been the point of discharge. The grounding effect would have gone through it. I was the closest thing.
So before you got knocked out, you're crouching behind there and you hear the thing powering up. While it's powering up,
As long as
did you
probing yourself makes you
perceive
happy.
or see anything? Was
Yeah.
there any kind of distortion outside, or any light or glow around the ground, or anything that would?
No, just the vibration you could feel as much as, say, feel in your body. The high
Yes, don't be
frequency.
phobic. Just
that
let it happen.
seemed
Corey.
to change with
Just
the
let it
position
happen.
of your head, and the really low rumble that you just felt in your bones more than through your ears.
I'm going to turn it off if I don't get some Twitch donations
of
soon.
something.
Al Garay.
I was, whoa, what did I do? What did I do?
Well, thank you for
I'm
that.
this
Ernie.
close. I was thinking it was going to shoot off before I even got close. That was a normal thing. You encounter wildlife and you jump out and it's going to be running away from you.
Right.
All right. I think I've heard enough. I don't know about the rest of you. Listening to two grifters talk about their grifts unironically and just play pretend with each other, like, all right, I'm not going to say that your grift is bullshit if you don't say my grift is bullshit. But good for this hoax promoting channel. And we can look at their channel and see that they promote hoaxers and hoaxes. They are a disinformation source. They are basically, this channel is here to entertain retarded people who are unable to critically think, who just want to hear fantasy stories about alien butt probes, right? And it's just kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't understand how somebody dedicates their life to this. Like, I'm just going to wake up every day and I'm going to put fake information out on my YouTube channel to entertain retarded people who don't know or don't care that these two people are literally lying scumbag grifters. Travis Walton's original witnesses, two of them, have come out and say it was all a manufactured hoax. Principally, especially the Roger, who, Mike Rogers, who basically came up with how to do the hoax. They lit up an off in the distance fire tower that was on a stand above the tree line. They lit it up. They shot a spotlight down from it. And presumably it was Travis Walton's brother helping them with the hoax. So Travis Walton's brother and Mike Rogers hoaxed the whole thing. And Bob Lazar, you heard my explanations of his fakery and fraud over and over again. Just a grifting fake scientist. And, it always bothers me when you see video titles like former government scientist when they're talking about Bob Lazar. There's no proof he ever worked for the government, and he's not a scientist. He's a fake scientist, convicted pimp, liar, bankrupt whorehouse runner. The guy ran a whorehouse. I'm sorry, but I don't think that pimps are the most credible people when it comes to somebody that, especially, look, they have no evidence. All they have is their stories. So we have to examine the credibility of the people making the claims. And in this, especially in the Bob Lazar case, I mean, his wife was a convicted murderer. He was bankrupt. Those two things would preclude him from ever stepping foot on Area 51. He wasn't in the check-in and check-out logs at Area 51. Fred Dunham went to Papoose Lake and looked for what he claimed was a secret alien base. There was nothing there like Bob Lazar described. No road in, no guard shack, no oppressive security forces, no hangar built into the side of a mountain. And yes, Fred Dunham went right up to the sides of the mountain. There was nothing there like Bob Lazar described. And that was just the week after Bob Lazar originally came out with the story. So what did they do? Move all the 9 alien spaceships out of there and cover over the alien spacecraft base that was supposedly built into the side of a mountain? It's all so childish and so stupid. And the fact that this Area 52 guy won't give you the whole story. He can't give you the whole story, because if you know that Bob Lazar is a convicted pimp fake scientist with a murderer wife who was bankrupt at the time he came out with his story, you would know he's not credible. Add to that he ran a whorehouse. I'm sorry, but I don't trust a pimp. A pimp cannot be trusted to tell the truth about the alien overlords. I'm sorry. And Travis Walton has been debunked time and time again. Failed lie detector tests twice. They cover that up so they can keep selling the story to retarded people on the internet or, in the movies. No, I've never covered Preston Dennett. He's been on my list for a while, though. Maybe we'll cover him soon. So I think we're going to call it there, my friends. We want to thank everybody for the kindness, generosity, and the big support of the show. We did not hit the goal. Let me refresh. Let's see. How close did we come? But almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, but 7 of 30. So, we almost made it to a third of a goal. Maybe I have to lower that. Maybe we're being too ambitious during the summer slump period. We used to hit that goal easily every day. Every time we did a show, we would easily hit that. And by the way, I'm not complaining, just commenting, right? Arlene is showing you where you can join our Discord server. You could chat with like-minded truth seekers from around the world, not just during the live broadcast, but 24/7. We've got all different sections for different topics and subjects. And it's a great group of people over there in the Discord. You should join if you want to chat with like-minded truth seekers from all around the world. And Cody Crow says, badass channel. Thank you. We're pretty unique in the world of aliens and UFOs. Did you know, Cody Crow, there are thousands of hoax promoting, fantasy driven, fake story peddling, garbage peddling scumbags all over the internet, especially YouTube. We are one of the few people who give you the whole story. We actually do the research and we tell you the truth about the people making the claims. That makes us very unique in the world of YouTube. So if you haven't already, I'll say it one more time, smash the subscribe button. It's a huge boost to our channel. Really, really does help us out. It lets YouTube know that more people are finding our content worth watching or coming back for, so they start recommending us more, which will increase our views. And in any case, we appreciate the support. And one way that you can support us, it's not always about just throwing money at us. One way you can support us is by smashing that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Come here and be a part of our interactive live chats. You are most welcome. Just Say No says, please do not forget to read my email. Well, here's the thing. Let me make sure that I got it. Did you send me an email with the initials JE? I don't want to read the name out. Just Say No. Is that you? Initials JE? Let me know if that's you. People try to send me emails all the time, and I don't know. I don't get a lot of people's emails. I think they get the email address wrong. It's Truth Seeker, one Truth Seeker, and then the word show, but all one word, Truth Seeker Show. People put an extra S in and email truthseekersshow@gmail. That's not me. It's one Truth Seeker and the word show @gmail.com. There's a lot of garbage peddling scumbags on X too. Yeah, they're everywhere. There's garbage peddling scumbags everywhere, right? Apple Pie is in the Twitch chat. Welcome. I haven't seen you here before. Christine Klimo, I've joined Arlene. How do I send money? Instructions for how to send money to us are in the description of every podcast or video. And yes, Discord is a great way to keep up with the streams. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you one more time. People say they send me emails and then they get pissed off at me when I don't get them. I'm going to try to find I'll just make a new one. I don't know where there's an email that I share on the screen, a banner here. We'll just do this one. It's Truth Seeker Show, TruthSeekershow @gmail.com. That's the email address. I don't know. I'll check my spam folder. This is the email address where you could reach me. The best place to reach me is through email. And I'm going to mention it again. Sometimes people friend me on Facebook or Twitter, and then they start messaging me, DM me or PM me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Please don't be one of those people. Okay, from Just Said No. All right. It went to my trash folder for whatever. Let me take it out of there. Mark is unread. Yeah. So Just Say No, I got it. You said, I sent this link to you with a lot of my research on the saucer check. The proof is in file 10 and 11, the closest we will get to seeing the Roswell craft. You can go to bluefilesreport.com and read the first draft of my research for free. All right, I will check it out. Oh, so you're one of those science of flying saucer guys. I mean, some of this stuff is interesting, but don't you agree that almost all of this is all speculation? Every time I've seen somebody write a paper like this, and I'm not being critical, I'm just stating a fact, it's all theoretical because you don't have your hands on an alien flying saucer. So how do you really know how they work? But I like this kind of stuff, so I will check it out when I get a chance there. Just say no. Thank you. All right. And for the benefit of anybody else that wants to contact me, it's truthseekershow@gmail.com. I love Lee James. I love the idiots who act like they're channeling aliens. So effing goofy. Some stupid message. Same robotic. Yeah. Well, I love alien channelers. They're funny to watch. We play some of them. We make songs out of their channeling sometimes, right? Okay, thank you very much, Christine Climo. Apple Pie is me, and I've just subscribed with Prime on Twitch. Yeah, by the way, if you want to support the show and you have an Amazon Prime membership, you could support our Twitch channel. You could become a subscriber for free on Twitch, and that really helps us out. Unfortunately, you got to do it every month. If you do it once and stop, then we just get the $5 or whatever we get. But we have some people that do it every month for me. So if you do have a Prime membership, you can subscribe to our Twitch channel. It's Truth Seeker Show on Twitch. I think so, right? I don't know. I barely check in with that, to be honest. Twitch.com, Truth Seeker Show. I think so. Twitch.com/Truth Seeker Show. Yeah, that's our Twitch channel. And we thank you, anybody that's subscribing over there. Got to steal any money I can from Jeff Bezos. He's got plenty, so give the Amazon money to me there, right? Revolver PPK. I do the Prime thing when I get home, walking the dog now. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. I'll check in and make sure that we don't have anybody left to call out. We're good on the super chats, and we're good on Kick. So we've done our due diligence. We want to thank all of you kind and generous benefactors and everybody who joined us. I'll be back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because there is truly no place I would rather be. But that's all I got for you for now. 1 second here. Boy, this is a blast from the past. I'm looking at the first brand. Do you know what I mean? Like, our first bunch of bumpers for Truth Seekers. Some of this stuff is years old. And it's interesting to see the history, right? And the progression. We haven't played that alien dancing one in a long time. So we'll do that to play us out. We want to thank all of you benefactors, wherever you're supporting us. You can support us on Patreon, buy me a coffee. You could become a channel member, send some money on Kick, send a super thanks. Hey, I thank everybody who does that. And we're thankful for the support. But that's all I got for you, friends. So until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night and God bless all of you.